Optimus Prime, leader of the Autobots. I am Megatron.
Starscream! Bumblebee here and ready to roll!
Meet Grimlock's greatest warrior! Ravage, attack!
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another Hero Revamp Spotlight, this time featuring Minzitar, the Courageous Warrior. Not only has Minzitar been given a new look, but he's also been made into a much more versatile hero. With powerful engagement tools and a direct counter against high-mobility heroes, the fearless Minzitar is a truly formidable presence on the battlefield. Hero Skills. We revamped Minzitar's first skill and ultimate, and completely redesigned his second skill and passive. First skill, Spear of Glory. Minzitar thrusts forward with the Spear of Glory and stuns enemies at the tip of the attack. Minzitar then pulls back his spear after a brief delay, damaging enemies along the way. Prior to the revamp, Spear of Glory only pulled the first enemy hero hit on its way back. The revamped version now pulls all enemy heroes the spear hits on its way back to Minzitar. Second skill, Shield Assault. The new Shield Assault provides Minzitar with enhanced damage and damage reduction. Shield Assault deals damage to enemies in an area and slows them. It no longer shields Minzitar or stuns an enemy, but will instead put Minzitar in the Phalanx state, reducing damage taken from the front and enhancing his basic attacks into rapid strikes that deal AoE damage. Ultimate King's Calling. Minzitar leaps a short distance and calls 4 Royal Guards to form a field around him. The Royal Guards cannot move, but will attack enemies in the field, and their attacks can trigger equipment effects. Enemies within the field will also be slowed. Before the revamp, the field only prevented enemy heroes from using directional blink skills. The new King's Calling now disables all movement skills. Passive skill, Mark of the King. The redesign of Minzitar's passive shifts its function from support to individual playmaking. The new passive causes his basic attacks and skills to apply a stack of Mark of the King. At max stacks, the marks will detonate to damage and stun the target, and restore a portion of Minzitar's HP. This effect can only trigger once every so often on the same target. The revamped Minzitar not only retained his powerful utility, such as shutting down high-mobility heroes, but also received a considerable boost in damage with the new Shield Assault. Pro tips. Since Spear of Glory stuns enemies hit by the tip, aim the end of the skill indicator at the target to more easily pull them in. Anticipate when the enemy burst is coming, and use Shield Assault to minimize damage taken. Shield Assault's enhanced basic attacks benefit from attack speed, so Minzitar with a damage build can have incredible burst in the late game. Target key heroes with King's Calling to cripple their mobility in battle. Combo tips. When laning, use Spear of Glory to pull enemy heroes in, then Shield Assault to slow and cut them down with rapid strikes. In teamfights, try to pull as many enemy heroes as possible with Spear of Glory, then use King's Calling to restrict their movement, and finish with Shield Assault for huge damage. Tactics. Minzitar should focus on farming in the early to mid-game. Use Shield Assault to reduce incoming damage or to quickly clear out minion waves. In the late game, Minzitar's crowd control really shines in teamfights. Use King's Calling to strip away the enemy's mobility and Shield Assault for a great burst of damage. We recommend this build, with Demon Hunter Sword and Corrosion Scythe as Minzitar's core equipment. Demon Hunter Sword provides much needed lifesteal and attack speed, while Corrosion Scythe adds even more attack speed to really push Shield Assault's damage. Pick the Fighter emblem to boost Minzitar's damage output. For battle spells, Flicker can be a powerful tool in the mid to late game when used with King's Calling to quickly reach and shut down key targets. Petrify is also recommended as an additional CC to maximize Minzitar's damage during Shield Assault. We hope players will have fun with the revamped Minzitar. Until next time, we'll be seeing you in the Land of Dawn.
Magic flows as freely as the wind. Name of the winds. The storm is coming. The boy is like wind. Listen, it is the sound of the wind. Behold, the fury of the wind. Behold, the fury of the wind. Behold, the fury of the wind.
Optimus Prime, leader of the Autobots. I am Megatron.
Starscream! Bumblebee here and ready to roll!
Grimlock's greatest warrior! Ravage, attack!
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another Hero Revamp Spotlight, this time featuring Minzitar, the courageous warrior. Not only has Minzitar been given a new look, but he's also been made into a much more versatile hero. With powerful engagement tools and a direct counter against high-mobility heroes, the fearless Minzitar is a truly formidable presence on the battlefield. Hero Skills. We revamped Minzitar's first skill and ultimate, and completely redesigned his second skill and passive. First skill, Spear of Glory. Minzitar thrusts forward with the Spear of Glory and stuns enemies at the tip of the attack. Minzitar then pulls back his spear after a brief delay, damaging enemies along the way. Prior to the revamp, Spear of Glory only pulled the first enemy hero hit on its way back. The revamped version now pulls all enemy heroes the spear hits on its way back to Minzitar. Second skill, Shield Assault. The new Shield Assault provides Minzitar with enhanced damage and damage reduction. Shield Assault deals damage to enemies in an area and slows them. It no longer shields Minzitar or stuns an enemy, but will instead put Minzitar in the Phalanx state, reducing damage taken from the front and enhancing his basic attacks into rapid strikes that deal AoE damage. Ultimate King's Calling. Minzitar leaps a short distance and calls 4 Royal Guards to form a field around him. The Royal Guards cannot move, but will attack enemies in the field, and their attacks can trigger equipment effects. Enemies within the field will also be slowed. Before the revamp, the field only prevented enemy heroes from using directional blink skills. The new King's Calling now disables all movement skills. Passive skill, Mark of the King. The redesign of Minzitar's passive shifts its function from support to individual playmaking. The new passive causes his basic attacks and skills to apply a stack of Mark of the King. At max stacks, the marks will detonate to damage and stun the target, and restore a portion of Minzitar's HP. This effect can only trigger once every so often on the same target. The revamped Minzitar not only retained his powerful utility, such as shutting down high mobility heroes, but also received a considerable boost in damage with the new Shield Assault. Pro tips. Since Spear of Glory stuns enemies hit by the tip, aim the end of the skill indicator at the target to more easily pull them in. Anticipate when the enemy burst is coming, and use Shield Assault to minimize damage taken. Shield Assault's enhanced basic attacks benefit from attack speed, so Minzitar with a damage build can have incredible burst in the late game. Target key heroes with King's Calling to cripple their mobility in battle. Combo tips. When laning, use Spear of Glory to pull enemy heroes in. Then, Shield Assault to slow and cut them down with rapid strikes. In teamfights, try to pull as many enemy heroes as possible with Spear of Glory. Then use King's Calling to restrict their movement, and finish with Shield Assault for huge damage. Tactics. Minzitar should focus on farming in the early to mid game. Use Shield Assault to reduce incoming damage or to quickly clear out minion waves. In the late game, Minzitar's crowd control really shines in teamfights. Use King's Calling to strip away the enemy's mobility and Shield Assault for a great burst of damage. We recommend this build, with Demon Hunter Sword and Corrosion Scythe as Minzitar's core equipment. Demon Hunter Sword provides much needed lifesteal and attack speed, while Corrosion Scythe adds even more attack speed to really push Shield Assault's damage. Pick the Fighter emblem to boost Minzitar's damage output. For battle spells, Flicker can be a powerful tool in the mid to late game when used with King's Calling to quickly reach and shut down key targets. Petrify is also recommended as an additional CC to maximize Minzitar's damage during Shield Assault. We hope players will have fun with the revamped Minzitar. Until next time, we'll be seeing you in the Land of Dawn.
Magic flows as freely as the wind. Name of the winds. The storm is coming. The boy is like wind. Listen. It is the sound of the wind. Behold, the fury of the wind. Behold, the fury of the wind. Behold, the fury of the wind.
Leader of the Autobots. I am Megatron.
Starscream! Bumblebee here and ready to roll!
Meet Grimlock's greatest warrior! Ravage, attack!
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another Hero Revamp Spotlight, this time featuring Minzitar, the courageous warrior. Not only has Minzitar been given a new look, but he's also been made into a much more versatile hero. With powerful engagement tools and a direct counter against high-mobility heroes, the fearless Minzitar is a truly formidable presence on the battlefield. Hero Skills. We revamped Minzitar's first skill and ultimate, and completely redesigned his second skill and passive. First skill, Spear of Glory. Minzitar thrusts forward with the Spear of Glory and stuns enemies at the tip of the attack. Minzitar then pulls back his spear after a brief delay, damaging enemies along the way. Prior to the revamp, Spear of Glory only pulled the first enemy hero hit on its way back. The revamped version now pulls all enemy heroes the spear hits on its way back to Minzitar. Second skill, Shield Assault. The new Shield Assault provides Minzitar with enhanced damage and damage reduction. Shield Assault deals damage to enemies in an area and slows them. It no longer shields Minzitar or stuns an enemy, but will instead put Minzitar in the Phalanx state, reducing damage taken from the front and enhancing his basic attacks into rapid strikes that deal AoE damage. Ultimate King's Calling. Minzitar leaps a short distance and calls 4 Royal Guards to form a field around him. The Royal Guards cannot move, but will attack enemies in the field, and their attacks can trigger equipment effects. Enemies within the field will also be slowed. Before the revamp, the field only prevented enemy heroes from using directional blink skills. The new King's Calling now disables all movement skills. Passive skill, Mark of the King. The redesign of Minzitar's passive shifts its function from support to individual playmaking. The new passive causes his basic attacks and skills to apply a stack of Mark of the King. At max stacks, the marks will detonate to damage and stun the target, and restore a portion of Minzitar's HP. This effect can only trigger once every so often on the same target. The revamped Minzitar not only retained his powerful utility, such as shutting down high-mobility heroes, but also received a considerable boost in damage with the new Shield Assault. Pro tips. Since Spear of Glory stuns enemies hit by the tip, aim the end of the skill indicator at the target to more easily pull them in. Anticipate when the enemy burst is coming, and use Shield Assault to minimize damage taken. Shield Assault's enhanced basic attacks benefit from attack speed, so Minzitar with a damage build can have incredible bursts in the late game. Target key heroes with King's Calling to cripple their mobility in battle. Combo tips. When laning, use Spear of Glory to pull enemy heroes in, then Shield Assault to slow and cut them down with rapid strikes. In teamfights, try to pull as many enemy heroes as possible with Spear of Glory, then use King's Calling to restrict their movement, and finish with Shield Assault for huge damage. Tactics. Minzitar should focus on farming in the early to mid game. Use Shield Assault to reduce incoming damage or to quickly clear out minion waves. In the late game, Minzitar's crowd control really shines in teamfights. Use King's Calling to strip away the enemy's mobility and Shield Assault for a great burst of damage. We recommend this build, with Demon Hunter Sword and Corrosion Scythe as Minzitar's core equipment. Demon Hunter Sword provides much needed lifesteal and attack speed, while Corrosion Scythe adds even more attack speed to really push Shield Assault's damage. Pick the Fighter emblem to boost Minzitar's damage output. For battle spells, Flicker can be a powerful tool in the mid to late game when used with King's Calling to quickly reach and shut down key targets. Petrify is also recommended as an additional CC to maximize Minzitar's damage during Shield Assault. We hope players will have fun with the revamped Minzitar. Until next time, we'll be seeing you in the Land of Dawn.
My magic flows as freely as the wind. Name of the winds. The storm is coming. The boy who is like wind. Listen. It is the sound of the wind. Behold, the fury of the wind. Behold, the fury of the wind. Behold, the fury of the wind.
Optimus Prime, leader of the Autobots.
Welcome back, guys. Good morning, good night to whoever, wherever you guys are at around the world. Today we got a little special event. It is going to be the Philippines Community Discord server March 5 versus 5 tournament, and this is going to be a semifinals. So let's see, come watch the semifinals match for the March 5 versus 5 tournament in the MLBBPH Discord community server. Now, today's schedule, we do have 2 matches coming up today. It is going to be match 1, Team Risk Alliance versus Yubiyans. We're already in the draft phase here, so I'm going to be switching into that in just a bit. And the match 2 is going to be Bhiegas and Friends versus G-Saw. And again, both these matches are going to be best of 3. It is going to be pretty exciting. This is going to be my first time hosting one of these PH tournaments here. So make sure to grab your popcorn as we jump into the game today. On the caster's desk, we do have NACT caster Eunice in the building. She's been with me for a couple of these tournaments already. You guys will see her in watch parties, and she's also casting pretty much every single match throughout the days for this tournament and also for the NABA coming up. Now, Eunice, how are you doing today?
Well, it's very early in the morning for myself and you as well. But we are going to go ahead, and this is not my first PH tournament that I'm actually casting. This is actually, it's been a few now. I'm kind of used to the drill, but this is going to be your first rodeo, so kind of curious on how you're feeling about it. But we are going to go ahead, and knowing that this is a PH tournament, I am looking for a little bit of different drafts and picks coming in, right? I do see a lot of common bans, obviously, but so it looks like Edith is going to be a prio pick over here, but Fanny and Joy getting slotted in. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of a backstory over here in the NACT-NA area. In the NACT currently, there is a player right now that has actually dominated with that Fanny EXP lane, but this Joy pick coming in though, it actually has only a 50% success rate, win rate currently in NACT. Okay. Yeah, so it's not looking too hot for the side of NA though, but we do see Valentina getting drafted in, and I'm looking right now. The drafts are, every time I cast PH tournaments, the draft phase, the bans are completely different because the one thing that I really notice, they leave open so many things so they can trade.
Yeah, there's honestly a couple of interesting things, especially in terms of the bans coming out. You know, one of the more noticeable ones is going to be that Diggy being banned out. And you know, in North America, we like to play the Diggy bans into a Chow, but this time they're looking for a Lolita. And also something else that's really interesting is that Kadita ban, and that's something we really don't see in North America. Maybe that is a target ban, especially towards the side of towards the side of Yubiyans. And of course, you know, as the first phase draft has been locked in so far, we do see the Fanny, Joy, and Valentina, which is very, very strong, very high mobility, high sustain, lots of shield, lots of life steal coming in from the side of Risk Alliance. And the response, once again, we have the Clint, the Lolita, and Edith. Which side are you favoring already right now, only through the first phase?
Now, I'm already looking at this draft, right? There's a lot of set potential. Over there on the blue side, Lurzo coming in with this Lolita, the Nuna Blast, is really going to be a huge menace. But I'm looking at the mobility coming in from the red side.
Risk Alliance.
It's kind of easy, right? And I'm not saying easy as so, you know, skill-wise. There is different things you guys have to do, but Joy getting CC immunity coming from her dash, and Fanny is just kind of able to cable away, and Valentina using the IMU is going to be able to copy Lurzo's Nuna Blast. So I don't know actually which draft to favor currently, because I do see Edith, and over in the NACT area in the NA, we've seen actually Merciless, right? Lock in that Edith, and he did prevail, coming in with a perfect KDA, but
the choice is mine.
So I think YUWEI, I think we both know what we're eyeballing right now. I think
oh yes, the Argus pick
in, right? But is that going to be an Edith jungle?
Well, that's going to be a first time thing for me. I actually got to see an Edith player in the offline tournament that was hosted around my area, and he was talking about how Edith jungle, especially with the new patch, was able to kind of clear through relatively fast. And this would be kind of a first time, because Edith traditionally played on that EXP lane. They do decide the first pick, and wow, what the draft coming out. A Pulpul Roam.
When's the last time you've seen a Pulpul Roam coming in? And this actually has happened already.
M3 maybe?
The NA. Yep. It was around that M3, you know, around that time area. But Pulpul Roam has actually fallen off pretty bad. Well, towards the NA side, right? But I do need to see how this draft is going to go, but we're going to go ahead and get into our first match, guys. This is a BO3, Risk Alliance versus Yubiyans, and we're looking at the draft right now, which side are you favoring? Is it the risk side? Maybe they're going for that risky draft, or is it going to be the other side, which is going to be Yubiyans with the more of the traditional draft, right? But the very unorthodox pick coming in from the Edith jungle.
Well, here's the thing, right? Yubiyans draft is honestly, just like you said, is very traditional. You kind of have Lolita and Edith being that front line. And also, like, you have the backline ability, you have the mages, you know, you have the Dawning Light, along with the Clint. So it's a very traditional front to back type of comp. But I honestly would have to favor the side of risk. Having that Popo at mid might just make that difference. And I've really never seen a Popo versus Lolita, but already a small harass going down at mid side as they begin this match.
Yeah, looks like Lolita's gonna have to go ahead and kind of bully off that Popo, but like you said, right? A little bit of that Popo roam is such a flex pick, right? Coming in with her skills do a lot of different things, right? But we do see a little bit of skirmish coming in. Edith coming in with the CC here. We do see Joy coming in, but first blood going into the hands of this Edith, but dropped dangerously low. And Soren on this Valentine to go ahead and clean up that kill, which is going to be a 1-2-1 trade right now coming in for both sides.
Yeah, honestly, the early game Edith, that first and that second skill, it's a stun and it's a knockup, and that really does hurt. And Edith's base damage, especially right now, is relatively high compared to a lot of the other heroes. She has a high cooldown. That's why, like, in terms of jungling, I'm not really sure if that is going to be the best option. But as you guys can see, you could already see this Popo putting in so much vision, giving so much information to that 1-1 and making sure that Wolf on this 1-1 is able to scale well into the late game.
Yeah, this Popo kind of feels like a little bit of a Selena, right? Coming in with those little immobilized traps, being with her little dog over there. Kind of looks like your dog with that skin, doesn't it? Looks like a little bit of Mika,
looks like
the
Mika.
husky. Look at that. You see a husky walking around, but this Popo pick, I feel like you don't have to be too up close, right? It is able to provide that CC with the We Are Angry coming in, but Steel Cable's coming in. Is going to go ahead and use a cut through, finish off a kill on this Xavier, and that is going to be a turtle uncontested though. For the blue side over there, we're just going to be Edith picking up this kill pretty easily, but this is a trade, right? Coming in for that mid lane kill. Xavier needs to go ahead and scale, but
yeah, a little bit of a risky play. Xavier ult does come in, but 1-1's able to sidestep out. Now, kind of wanted to talk about that jungle clear speed coming in from Edith. He just used the Primal Wrath to kind of burst down the turtle, and it disappeared right away after it spawned. Now, top side looking like both teams are looking to set up and turn into the jungle area. Maybe a fight's going to be breaking out. And Popo and Koopa, you know, against a Lolita, I would think that the side of risk would say, hey, maybe something like a stun, but mid.
Steel Cable coming in and use that cut through to finish off that kill, but looks like a little bit of an overkill coming in from Valentina, right? The Luminous Blast could have been saved just a little bit. We do know that this Fanny is running that high and dry over there, so he's going to have that little bit of early damage. Might have fell off in that early game getting first blooded, which is not something you want to see on a Fanny, but looks like she's going to come back and get her revenge right now.
Yeah, right now, Fanny, you know, one of those early game heroes that have a lot of damage, a lot of mobility, and it's kind of hard to deal with. That's why a lot of the matches, especially if they have a Fanny, but bot side.
Look, Iron Beast coming out, doing a little bit of damage on this Argus. Gonna go ahead and actually reverse that script around and get a kill on this Joy. But look at Popo, We Are Angry being activated, Savage being dropped dangerously low, and Wolf is gonna go ahead and pick up that Clint into the cast resist. So hello, welcome back here. Very excited to have you here, but a little bit of a jungle bully coming in, and Fanny still looking for an answer for this blue Argus coming in. Go ahead and get their kill, and Zeno on this Fanny, and the top side just getting eaten up by Popo and 1-1 over here.
Yeah, so that's kind of the thing. When you have these assassin junglers versus someone like a Set tank or even like an Akai jungle or Barats, they're looking to invade relatively hard, but a fight.
We see a fight happening. Then a blast coming in to land on one member who's going to be snapping that Popo Tamaki's gonna go ahead and pick up the kill, but Edith, second turtle into the hands right now for this Edith. And I'm not really... I was kind of scared for the side of Yubiyans, right? The Edith jungle is not something we really see in NA. You only see that in the roam with the ESP position, but we do see electrifying beats.
What?
Oh, just missing AJ on this Argus. Poor Joy.
Yeah, Argus was just kind of just able to miss and just juke around that Joy a little bit. It honestly felt really, really close. Now, 2 turtles on the side of Yubiyans right now. That kind of tells me that this Edith pick is really working out. Although they are down in terms of the overall goal, it is 5 minutes, about less than 1k gold lead. So it really is nothing there, but they have all these objectives. They're kind of down. Oh, they're actually up in kill, but in terms of their macro, they're just unable to grab up a tower. Now, 2 people at mid side right here.
You see your anger being triggered over there. Zenoki's trying to get his hands up, but we do see the tower rush from the dotting line doing some chip damage on that mid side. He's going to go ahead and take Hank off of this Edith. Is going to be into the kill of Soren on this Valentina. And this Xavier is looking a little bit in the rush, but Wama's going to go ahead and pick up a kill on this Clint, which is going to be into the favor of Wolf. So ×2. Hello, Clint. Welcome back to the second casting us for the second time now. But I really want to highlight this Xavier really quickly. And YUWEI, you're the roam and the mid player, right? We do that. You used to be goes to hold on. Electrifying boots coming out. Eternal Evil is still going to be saved by this Argus, but we do see Fanny going to go ahead and just proxy up that lane a little bit. But as a mid and roam player, YUWEI, right? Tamaki on this Xavier is running that magic worship. Now we usually see the magic shop being locked in by Xavier's because they need time to scale, but 2 deaths already?
Yeah, might not be the best idea. He also is choosing to run tough boots, but Lolita ult.
Ooh, Numa Blast landing on 3 people there. We are being triggered in, but hopefully electrifying beats is going to go ahead and do some little bit of dash DPR over there to the back side. It looks like Zenokake this time is going to go ahead and take this turtle uncontested. And Edith might have just overstayed her stay a little bit and Cutthroat finishing off that kill, but Eternal Evil has been popped by this Argus. Is he able to get about? No, that's a shutdown coming in from this Joy. And this Popol proxy of these
It's working. It's working.
Oh yeah, that dog is chewing down these turrets.
Yeah, honestly, right here, Seth using this Popol and Koopa really, really well. It's able to set up so many kills, and they do end up picking up that kill onto Clint. Welcome back to the Cactus Dust again. For the third time in a row now. But Soren on this Valentina picking up that Luminum Blast, hitting 3 targets, forcing the side of Risk Alliance to... Oh, wait, no, not Risk Alliance. They are the Risk Alliance, forcing Yubiyans to kind of give up this mid tower. And by doing that, they're able to pick up a top tower at the same time.
Now, I want to talk about this gold lane matchup really quickly, right? Wolf is sitting at 3-1, but Savage over there is sitting at 1-3, right?
Not happy.
Usually we see hold on. Luminum Blast landing on 1 member over there, which is going to be Lurs. Will drop very down low. We do see Fanny coming in. The steel cable's going to go ahead and use some damage. Straight down the middle. Is going to get a kill on Loli. The shutdown coming in from Flint on this Wolf, which is in good hands. Eternal Evil being popped in by this Argus. Go ahead and take down Valentina. He's going to walk away untouched. Electrifying Beats coming to the back. Tamaki taking down Valentina, but Lemka's going to go ahead and take a double kill off of this Xavier. And that,
4 for 2.
That is a 4 for 2 trade. It's not something you really want to see in that early game stage. And the gold deficit.
5k.
That is huge.
5k, 9 minutes in the match. That's not something we want to see for either of these teams. And Joy goes in once again.
The Cutthroat landing a kill on Lurzo on that roam position. He's going to go ahead and put his way back home as he has no energy over there. But Popol still chewing down these turrets.
Oh my god, we might have to take this one into the practice books. It's one of the draft. And like we've seen Popol in these professional tournaments before, but we just really haven't seen it being used quite a bit in North America. And so far, Seth kind of just walking into that top side, grabbing up that tower early on, walking back to mid side, grabbing the mid side, and now He was solo pushing that bot side. Now 9:30 is the clock. There is going to be a Dawn Light coming in, but the Lord will go majority uncontested for the side of Risk.
Now, I want to run it back just a little bit, right? And do a little blast to the past a little bit. Remember how I said this little lead-up pick wasn't going to be into the favor, right? Because there is a Valentina that is able to use a lot of her dashes over there. Lemga running this Joy, CC immunity with her dashes as well. And Zenokaze on this Fanny is just going to be able to get out of those really risky situations. So is this the roam that we really wanted to see? Maybe I would have opted in for a Kufra to go ahead and maybe stop the Joy when she does run around, or maybe the Valentina stop the dashes, or especially that Fanny, right? Sitting at 525. So what are your thoughts right now?
I just feel like the mobility might be a little bit too much to handle. On the side of Risk Alliance, they do have a Fanny, they have a 1-1, they have a Valentina, they have a Joy. Everyone has those dashes, maybe something like a Phobius, but mid-side looking to siege.
Mid-side, Turt's gonna go down. Joy coming in with a little bit of dashes. Popo, we are angry, is going to be triggered over there. Electrifying beats not landing on anybody. Flickers are actually widely missing. We're gonna see Wolf doing a little bit of DDR dance with that 1-1 skin. Moving the left, landing on 2 the back. Dawn Light coming in from outside. Turn of Evil's gonna go ahead and do some chip damage, but with the crossbow of Tang Long on the backside. Gonna get a kill on Edith. Gonna then damage the Wolf. Wolf getting a double kill over there. Valentina doing a lot of chip damage on this lead. Gonna go ahead and take him off of Cassier's desk, and that is a kill and a win actually for the side of Risk YUWEI.
Yeah, honestly, I felt like the draft was the big issue. You look at Joy 1-1, you look at Fanny, those are 3 of the most picks or ban type of heroes, especially in a lot of the professional tournaments. And we're not even looking at that Valentina. Again, this is an 11-minute game. 18-8 is going to be the scoreboard. Valentina did come out with this MVP at sitting at a 3-1-8, probably the highest kill participation. And just looking across at some of the stats, you do see Joy doing 30% damage, 30% tank. That kind of tells you that the Joy itself is a strong pick, especially after the change.
Absolutely. Now let's take a look at these really quick stats, though. We do see Zenokaze coming in not the most amount of damage, right? But being able to kind of secure those last kills, those really low heroes, right? 525, but we do see that perfect KDA coming in from Doran on this Valentina, right? As soon as she starts to run that magic shop, the scaling is going to be so much faster. And Popo coming at that roam position. Such a great game coming in. So congratulations, Risk Alliance, for taking up that first game. But we're going to hop into the second match in just a little bit.
Optimus Prime, leader of the Autobots.
All right, welcome back everyone to game 2 between Risk Alliance and Yubiyans. This is going to be the 5 versus 5 PH community tournament from Discord. Best of 3s. This is going to be the match 1. This is going to be the semifinals, and we will have the grand finals on Thursday around the same time. Now, on the caster's desk, lovely to introduce, it's going to be me and Mr. Rem right here, also a MLSA staff, and I've casted with him throughout the whole entire time that I've been casting. Now, Rem, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. I was looking at the previous game, and the aggression coming in from the side of Risk last game was really impressive to see, right? They pulled out the Fanny, the Valentina, and I do like that Yubiyans kind of read that, right? They banned out 3 of those picks that they kind of struggle against. The Valentina did go ahead and secure that MVP in the last game. They took it off. They took out the Fanny and this 1-1 as well, right? So I do like that. When teams learn their lesson, when they struggle against something, ban it out, because usually in NA, we'd see teams go up against counters and they'd let it walk, right? But speaking of things walking, something unconventional being picked up for the side of Yubiyans that you shouldn't send, and that's going to be going up against this Lancelot. And we've seen that he's been called tanks a lot these days. So I'm excited to see how this jungler matchup is going to go, especially for the side of Yubiyans, as they have a little bit of pressure on their backs this game.
Yeah, and there's a lot of heroes open, especially since they're the side of Yubiyans choose to target ban the 3 heroes that Risk was using. The Lancelot first pick, again, there's a lot of people that has been building tank, and especially on the PH and ID side, they really do use that. And even in North America, we see that quite often. The response for the Lancelot tank is going to be this Fredrin objective focused jungler. Did get nerfed in the last patch, but still proven to be that walking petrify along with this YSS. So this is a little bit confusing for me. I believe either the Fredrin is going to be slotted into that EXP, or it might be slotted into that roam position.
See, I was liking their draft
for
the side of Yubiyans, but I don't like how they're drafting. There's no opportunity for flex picks right now. I feel like locking in that Yushin Shin that early, and even could have gone into the gold lane potentially. Yes. Is it the best gold lane pick up against Surin on this Bruno? Absolutely not. But then you lock in the Melissa, and now the side of Risk Alliance, it's not risky for them at all, actually, because they know where heroes are going to go. And that's just going to allow them to counter and have this laning pressure. Not only that, they can counter the overall draft that Yubiyans is going for right now. I do think locking in that Fredrin, and then I don't know, I think the draft, I'm going to give it to the side of Risk Alliance in the first phase of the draft, just because I think that they have better things going for them. The Farsa is still open, and Risk can definitely pick that up. The glue as well, to target that backline, right? I would like to see them potentially get a high ground mage for the side of Risk. And speaking of mages, a court being banned out, is this a PH thing?
I think it's actually pretty interesting. The ban that I do want to target a little bit more is going to be that Diggy ban, being banned out on the second phase, first ban for the side of Yubiyans. And in North America, traditionally, we like to play the Diggy against the Chow. We like to play the Diggy against a lot of the set heroes. It kind of just makes a messy team fight really smooth sailing and kind of annoying. Now, the ban phase is going to be over, and the response is going to be a Carmilla. And this is actually something we've seen maybe one time in the NACT, and this kind of makes me wonder, is this something that they have prepared? Maybe we'll see a Sicilian be coming out here.
It would work, but I think that's putting too much pressure into the late game. They need an early game mage, especially considering the fact that they have two ADCs, right? And
Mm-hmm.
my problem when teams run two ADCs is that it leaves it up to the roamer to decide, okay, well, who am I going to prioritize? You have a Yushin Shin in your jungle and going up against a Lancelot and the Cho,
Hard.
that is a lot of jungle pressure that's going to be coming in for the side of Risk Alliance. Not only that, you have the Esmeralda, who can
Yep.
kite around and get to that backline, and that is a Camilla. And the problem that I'm seeing that kind of repeat from the last game is that you ran this Lolita against mobile heroes. It's the same story here. I mean, even the Veil, he has his passive that increases his movement speed. He's going to be running that Purify in this game. So that link is coming in from this Carmilla. How effective is it going to be in terms of combo potential? Yes, it can combo well with Savage on this Melissa with that Muddles to get that AoE damage going in, but I just don't see it working out. I think Risk Alliance right now in this draft, they have the answers, they have the backline pressure, they have the burst coming in, not only from their mage, but Bruno, one of those marksmen. We've seen a popular Bruno
Whoa.
player, Bhiegas, who
Five
can lock
hero?
it in. You know, yeah. So
5 heroes? Look at that beautiful draft right there,
I I love the flex. I love when teams can have a beautiful draft and be able to flex like this. So I'm excited to see how Risk Alliance
Wow.
is gonna perform. This is beautiful, and I'm
This
expecting this to
is,
beautiful gameplays coming in from them as well.
yeah, honestly, you were kind of talking about how the Carmilla is going to be able to defend not only that gold position, also that jungler YSS, one of those heroes that do need a lot of time to scale. And Carmilla, a pretty decent tank, I would have to say, but going up against something like an Esmeralda, especially, he's going to be dominating his own lane, a Chow, and also a tank Lancelot. That's going to be a lot to deal with now. We are going into the land of Dawn. It does look like Risk already pushing the first wave so fast.
Absolutely, and they can do that, right? They have the Val, and as well as this Cho, he is running that emblem that can help with that wave clear. I think it's called concussive blast. And then you have the Veil. He has relatively fast wave clear as well. So
Yep.
what I would like to see from the side of Yubiyans right now, try to put some pressure into that gold lane. Potentially give up that first objective and go shut down Soren on this Bruno early on, right? But we do see some engage coming in here, but a pause is being requested for them as well. And I do think that's what they have to do with this game, right? In terms of early game, they have this Lunox. She can scale faster than on Seth on this Veil. So they do have that going for them. Once they can shut down Soren, it's going to be a tank slot. That's not going to be damage. The Cho is not going to be building damage either. And then you have this Esmeralda, right? Most of the time, she's going to build that Tribird, you know, in terms of the item. She's not going to go full damage. She's not going to go full tank. So they're really going to be banking on Seth and Soren. And I think if they can shut down this gold lane early on and get Savage online on this Melissa, she's going to be their saving grace to carry out this game.
Yeah, just like you said, I do think the right movement, especially for the side of Yubiyans, is going to be to go for that gold lane. Because, matter of fact, they're not really going to have the front line. They're not going to have the sustain to be able to fight against an Esmeralda, a Chow, and a tank Lancelot early for these objectives. And you can kind of already see Wolf just showing up. Even Lemgod came through for this blue buff invade, and this might just go into a snowball real quick if they don't find an answer.
Absolutely right. We do see Cho continuously applying that pressure, giving Yishin Shin a harder time here. But
3-man
I don't want to
invade.
count them out too early, right? He is losing out there. We see Zeno coming in. There goes the Phantom Execution. Not going to miss forcing out that flicker, though. So a lot of utility being burnt out, but he's still going in. And there goes first blood into the hands of Zeno, but he's not done. Forcing out a flicker into the hands of Tamaki as well. And that's what happens when you slot in this marksman in your jungle. Very unconventional. I feel like if you picked up the Fredrin, you could have had him be your jungler, right? Deny some of that early invade pressure, put the Yisenshin, comfort picks can still work out. If they wanted to put him, they could have put him up in that gold lane. And again, the same win condition would have applied. Focus on the gold lane to get him online faster than Sorin on this Bruno. But we do see Risk getting the early aggression on this turtle with that zonage coming in as well.
Yeah, they're able to grab up this turtle uncontested, and you kind of see Wolf doing so much work, especially in the enemy's jungle, and that's just kind of the YSS pick showing off that it is a little bit risky. You do see the roam already sitting next to that Melissa, so AJ on this YSS is just really going to get punished hard here early game.
And this is what I was talking about, right? Their roamer's not able to provide any type of vision. She has to decide, okay, am I going to sacrifice my gold laner and rotate with my jungle? But we see right now that Yusan Shin, he can't even rotate properly. Carmilla's bot lane, he's getting invaded. He's level 4
Look at his,
up against Zeno right now. There goes the way of the dragon. Val missing that. The falling storm, we're gonna go ahead and secure that kill. But we do see Lunox finding a response. That's a double kill. But Esmeralda gonna secure a double kill of her own. But look at Lemgod and Zeno focusing on this Carmilla. Still going in. There goes the Retribution Phantom Execution. And that's another kill into the hands of Risk Alliance, but they're not done yet. We do see Savage coming in with that muddles. There goes some pressure. Fredrin as well kiting out, and that's gonna force the retreat from the side of Risk Alliance.
Yeah, so on the side of Risk Alliance, they're able to grab up a couple kills there, but the trade was brought back from the side of Yubiyans. And honestly, when we talk about trades, it's always in the favor of the losing team. But that's only if they can get some sort of even trade. They could probably push them out of their jungle. And right now, Yubiyans still struggling. Even after a few trades, you can already see the level gap in between, and Lancelot goes in.
Phantom Execution doing a little bit of chip damage towards that backside. And looks like there's not going to be too much of a trade coming in. But Wolf, the way the dragon can come in and land a kill, and steps in to go ahead and unlock the killing spree on this Lunox.
Man, I like what I'm seeing so far. Looking at the levels right now, okay, YUWEI, the Esmeralda, that EXP lane is already 2 levels higher than the jungler coming in from the side of Yubiyans, and it's not looking good for them. When teams have this snowball, YUWEI, you know how hard it is to come back from that.
Most definitely. And you know, to have a YSS jungle, he only has 1.8k gold compared to the enemy Lancelot. You're talking about almost a full item difference here. Now 3-man topside looking to go for this Esmeralda potentially.
Reduce the falling storm and lock in on this
conceal
Shin, where the dragon kicking. We do see the blood O coming in from that Carmilla and not doing enough damage to go ahead and secure the kill. But Xenokaze going in on the back side with the tanks a lot, and the Phantom Execution is going to go ahead and secure that kill. And looks like this Lance is a little on fire, but not done yet. Falling Storm one more time. He's going to go ahead and do some damage on this Fredrin. Is he going to get it out of there? He might just not.
What?
Ooh, look at a little bit of sidestep coming in. Xenokage. Oh my goodness. This Lance is going a little bit crazy right now.
I mean, and he can afford to do that, right? He's pretty much fed at this point. He's level 10. That is a 3-level advantage over most of the members coming in from the side of Yubiyans here, and they cannot find an answer right now. There's too much pressure across all of the board. I did mention that they were going to lose out on the laning phases, but speaking of losing out here,
you do see a little bit of a skirmish in that mid side, but looks like nothing is going to be really traded out right now.
Yeah, the side of Heroes Skin, they honestly have a really beautiful synergy right now, and most of these players actually understand how to play a conceal play coming in.
You do see a little bit of concealed play. It's going to go ahead and secure a kill on Lurzo on this Carmilla, which is actually going to go into the hands of Sorin. And just like Rem said earlier, this Bruno, but oh my goodness, Xenokaze doing a little bit of a dance on those minions with those dashes over there.
did you see the way he just dived in on one
yeah.
side and then dived out on the other side. You know, when you go to those stores and you see those push this side to exit and then this side to enter. That's what we just saw right there. But speaking of things to see, Fredrin being bursted down.
We do see Savage picking up a kill on Esmeralda. Actually going to be a double kill coming in on this Melissa. And Xenokaze is still doing a little bit of a dance over there. And looks like he's showing us really how to play this Lance right now.
Yeah, Xenokage is relatively nice on the Lancelot. There is a 2-for-1 trade in the favor of Yubiyans. And, you know, that kind of cuts the gold lead by a little bit. But if the YSS just is not able to scale well into this game, if he just constantly gets denied, he's only going to be a liability. And checking out his gold right now, he's even struggling compared to the enemy Chow right here.
Absolutely right. But speaking of struggles and engager in the top side,
we do see Melissa doing a lot of chip damage though on the Xenokaze, but you know, he's running that tanks a lot, so he's not going to get too much damage taken on by himself over there.
Yeah, another uncontested Lord Rem.
potentially, right? They are still continuously applying so much pressure pre-objectives. Falling Star Mundo.
You see into the chaos coming in from the Lunox. Chow going into the backside, and actually going to be Xenokaze getting another kill on this Melissa, which is the marksman down over there, which is not looking too good. They need to go ahead and need that marksman to go ahead and defend these waves, but Vale's doing oh my goodness, this Vale is doing some work right now, providing a lot of CC.
Yeah, 9k gold lead on the side of Risk, and it does look like they're just gonna take it all.
We do see that they're just trying to put all this pressure right now. We do see Izuchi's ult coming down just to get a little bit of damage, but that is going to be an uncontested Lord right now, and it's going to be into the hands of Zeno.
I mean, that's kind of what he's there for right now, to just be a little saving grace in terms of giving some vision, but I don't think the side of Risk Alliance is hiding. They've been constantly up in the faces of Yubiyans, right? We see Esmeralda going over the Falling Star Moon, we see Xenokaze jumping in, we see Cho with the concealed flicker phase, and then I mentioned the burst coming in from Steph on this Bruno, being able to burst down Tamaki there.
Yeah, but the burst came in so quickly. Seth with the flicker coming in was unable to get any catch. Now the punish does come down and they get a pick.
We do see the Phantom Execution going ahead and finish off the kill on Lurzo, doing a little bit of a DDR dance, a little bit of a waltz around Izuchi's house over there on that boat.
Wow.
We see Melissa coming in, double kill coming in on Soren on this Bruno. Falling Star landing on two members over there. Lord is still coming down uncontested, but look at that shutdown coming in from Savage on this Melissa. And this Predator is really trying to not let this Lord go into their face. We do see Melissa going to go ahead and defend this really well. The way the Dragon is going to lock on Frederick, ordering Chaos being ordered in by Lunox. But we do see Carmilla coming back in here. But can they defend this? And they can. Melissa coming in, doing a lot of damage, trying to clear up these lanes. But looks like the power of the emote over there is going to do a little bit of chip damage onto the base as well. But we do see a little bit of a cutout coming in, but is Izuchi going to go ahead and pick up the kill? And he is not, and respectfully, that is good defense actually coming in. And what do you guys have to say right now?
Yeah, AJ kind of was trying to hit that Lancelot, but just still unable to do too much damage. Now another fight.
You see Lemon God on this Esmeralda picking up the kill on this Lunox pretty early into this fight. Vale, we do see, not being able, but that is a flicker being burnt by Lurzo right there, which is not the utility you want to be, but we do see Wolf in that backside looking for a little bit of some blood. He smells something over there, but we do see this Bruno Soren doing so much damage. But we do see this Wolf coming in the way the Dragon will go ahead and land on this Frederick. Gonna go to the Fallen Star before Man-Set ordering Chaos coming in. Go away has been triggered in by Melissa, airborne by Vale, but this she's gonna go ahead and pick up the kill on Vale. Triple kill coming in from Soren on this Bruno. Will that be a Maniac? Is that gonna be a Savage as well? It looks like it's gonna go ahead and do a little ring around the Rosie Phantom Execution. Just missing this Carmilla, and Soren might just have to get this Savage. Very well played, and that, congratulations, that is a hard-hitting Bruno.
Victory!
I mean, we have to give it up to the side of Risk Alliance, capitalizing off of their draft and that early game pressure. We did see Yubiyans run that to marksman composition with that Yusen in the jungle. And I'm sorry, you can predict that how it was gonna go. I think when we saw the picks coming out from the side of Risk Alliance earlier on, the responses weren't that great, right? And you might kind of just break down what we saw during this game.
Yeah, we saw the Bruno kind of just free hitting throughout the whole entire late game. We see that 34% damage dealt along with the 66% real estate Robin, right? And looking at the team fight participation across the board, it is relatively even, but the MVP does go to Xenon on this Lancelot, able to soak up so much damage, getting most of the objectives, and also just being there at the team fight. So the side of Risk Alliance looking like they do have the draft, they do have the mechanics, they are looking to go into that grand finals. Very, very strong team. This is going to be one of the teams that we're going to be watching out for now. They did take this set right here. We will be going on a short break, but coming up next on the 5 versus 5 PH Discord community tournament, it is going to be Team Bhiegas and Friends versus G Saw. Now we will be right back, guys.
I am Optimus Prime, leader of the Autobots. I am Megatron.
Starscream. Bumblebee here and ready to roll.
Grimlock's greatest warrior! Ravage, attack!
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another Hero Revamp Spotlight, this time featuring Minzitar, the courageous warrior. Not only has Minzitar been given a new look, but he's also been made into a much more versatile hero. With powerful engagement tools and a direct counter against high mobility heroes, the fearless Minzitar is a truly formidable presence on the battlefield. Hero skills. We revamped Minzitar's first skill and ultimate, and completely redesigned his second skill and passive. First skill, Spear of Glory. Minzitar thrusts forward with the Spear of Glory and stuns enemies at the tip of the attack. Minzitar then pulls back his spear after a brief delay, damaging enemies along the way. Prior to the revamp, Spear of Glory only pulled the first enemy hero hit on its way back. The revamp version now pulls all enemy heroes the spear hits on its way back to Minzitar. Second skill, Shield Assault. The new Shield Assault provides Minzitar with enhanced damage and damage reduction. Shield Assault deals damage to enemies in an area and slows them. It no longer shields Minzitar or stuns an enemy, but will instead put Minzitar in the Phalanx state, reducing damage taken from the front and enhancing his basic attacks into rapid strikes that deal AoE damage. Ultimate King's Calling. Minzitar leaps a short distance and calls 4 Royal Guards to form a field around him. The Royal Guards cannot move, but will attack enemies in the field, and their attacks can trigger equipment effects. Enemies within the field will also be slowed. Before the revamp, the field only prevented enemy heroes from using directional blink skills. The new King's Calling now disables all movement skills. Passive skill, Mark of the King. The redesign of Minzitar's passive shifts its function from support to individual playmaking. The new passive causes his basic attacks and skills to apply a stack of Mark of the King. At max stacks, the marks will detonate to damage and stun the target, and restore a portion of Minzitar's HP. This effect can only trigger once every so often on the same target. The revamped Minzitar not only retained his powerful utility, such as shutting down high mobility heroes, but also received a considerable boost in damage with the new Shield Assault. Pro tips. Since Spear of Glory stuns enemies hit by the tip, aim the end of the skill indicator at the target to more easily pull them in. Anticipate when the enemy burst is coming, and use Shield Assault to minimize damage taken. Shield Assault's enhanced basic attacks benefit from attack speed, so Minzitar with a damage build can have incredible bursts in the late game. Target key heroes with King's Calling to cripple their mobility in battle. Combo tips. When laning, use Spear of Glory to pull enemy heroes in, then Shield Assault to slow and cut them down with rapid strikes. In teamfights, try to pull as many enemy heroes as possible with Spear of Glory, then use King's Calling to restrict their movement, and finish with Shield Assault for huge damage. Tactics. Minzitar should focus on farming in the early to mid game. Use Shield Assault to reduce incoming damage or to quickly clear out minion waves. In the late game, Minzitar's crowd control really shines in teamfights. Use King's Calling to strip away the enemy's mobility and Shield Assault for a great burst of damage. We recommend this build, with Demon Hunter Sword and Corrosion Scythe as Minzitar's core equipment. Demon Hunter Sword provides much needed lifesteal and attack speed, while Corrosion Scythe adds even more attack speed to really push Shield Assault's damage. Pick the Fighter emblem to boost Minzitar's damage output. For battle spells, Flicker can be a powerful tool in the mid to late game when used with King's Calling to quickly reach and shut down key targets. Petrify is also recommended as an additional CC to maximize Minzitar's damage during Shield Assault. We hope players will have fun with the revamped Minzitar. Until next time, we'll be seeing you in the Land of Dawn.
My magic flows as freely as the wind. Name of the wind. The storm is coming. The boy who is like wind. Listen. It is the sound of the wind. Behold, the fury of the wind! Behold, the fury of the wind! Behold, the fury of the wind!
Optimus Prime, leader of the Autobots. I am Megatron.
Starscream! Bumblebee here and ready to roll!
Meet Grimlock's greatest warrior! Ravage, attack!
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another Hero Revamp Spotlight, this time featuring Minzitar, the courageous warrior. Not only has Minzitar been given a new look, but he's also been made into a much more versatile hero. With powerful engagement tools and a direct counter against high-mobility heroes, the fearless Minzitar is a truly formidable presence on the battlefield. Hero Skills. We revamped Minzitar's first skill and ultimate, and completely redesigned his second skill and passive. First skill, Spear of Glory. Minzitar thrusts forward with the Spear of Glory and stuns enemies at the tip of the attack. Minzitar then pulls back his spear after a brief delay, damaging enemies along the way. Prior to the revamp, Spear of Glory only pulled the first enemy hero hit on its way back. The revamped version now pulls all enemy heroes the spear hits on its way back to Minzitar. Second skill, Shield Assault. The new Shield Assault provides Minzitar with enhanced damage and damage reduction. Shield Assault deals damage to enemies in an area and slows them. It no longer shields Minzitar or stuns an enemy, but will instead put Minzitar in the Phalanx state, reducing damage taken from the front and enhancing his basic attacks into rapid strikes that deal AoE damage. Ultimate King's Calling. Minzitar leaps a short distance and calls 4 Royal Guards to form a field around him. The Royal Guards cannot move, but will attack enemies in the field, and their attacks can trigger equipment effects. Enemies within the field will also be slowed. Before the revamp, the field only prevented enemy heroes from using directional blink skills. The new King's Calling now disables all movement skills. Passive skill, Mark of the King. The redesign of Minzitar's passive shifts its function from support to individual playmaking. The new passive causes his basic attacks and skills to apply a stack of Mark of the King. At max stacks, the marks will detonate to damage and stun the target, and restore a portion of Minzitar's HP. This effect can only trigger once every so often on the same target. The revamped Minzitar not only retained his powerful utility, such as shutting down high-mobility heroes, but also received a considerable boost in damage with the new Shield Assault. Pro tips. Since Spear of Glory stuns enemies hit by the tip, aim the end of the skill indicator at the target to more easily pull them in. Anticipate when the enemy burst is coming, and use Shield Assault to minimize damage taken. Shield Assault's enhanced basic attacks benefit from attack speed, so Minzitar with a damage build can have incredible bursts in the late game. Target key heroes with King's Calling to cripple their mobility in battle. Combo tips. When laning, use Spear of Glory to pull enemy heroes in, then Shield Assault to slow and cut them down with rapid strikes. In teamfights, try to pull as many enemy heroes as possible with Spear of Glory, then use King's Calling to restrict their movement, and finish with Shield Assault for huge damage. Tactics. Minzitar should focus on farming in the early to mid game. Use Shield Assault to reduce incoming damage or to quickly clear out minion waves. In the late game, Minzitar's crowd control really shines in teamfights. Use King's Calling to strip away the enemy's mobility and Shield Assault for a great burst of damage. We recommend this build, with Demon Hunter's Sword and Corrosion Scythe as Minzitar's core equipment. Demon Hunter's Sword provides much needed lifesteal and attack speed, while Corrosion Scythe adds even more attack speed to really push Shield Assault's damage. Pick the Fighter emblem to boost Minzitar's damage output. For battle spells, Flicker can be a powerful tool in the mid to late game when used with King's Calling to quickly reach and shut down key targets. Petrify is also recommended as an additional CC to maximize Minzitar's damage during Shield Assault. We hope players will have fun with the revamp Minzitar. Until next time, we'll be seeing you in the Land of Dawn.
My magic flows as freely as the wind. Name of the winds. The storm is coming. The boy is like wind. Listen, it is the sound of the wind. Behold, the fury of the wind. Behold, the fury of the wind. Behold, the fury of the wind.
I am Optimus Prime, leader of the Autobots. I am Megatron.
Starscream! Bumblebee here and ready to roll!
Meet Grimlock's greatest warrior! Ravage, attack!
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another Hero Revamp Spotlight, this time featuring Minzitar, the courageous warrior. Not only has Minzitar been given a new look, but he's also been made into a much more versatile hero. With powerful engagement tools and a direct counter against high-mobility heroes, the fearless Minzitar is a truly formidable presence on the battlefield. Hero Skills. We revamped Minzitar's first skill and ultimate, and completely redesigned his second skill and passive. First skill, Spear of Glory. Minzitar thrusts forward with the Spear of Glory and stuns enemies at the tip of the attack. Minzitar then pulls back his spear after a brief delay, damaging enemies along the way. Prior to the revamp, Spear of Glory only pulled the first enemy hero hit on its way back. The revamped version now pulls all enemy heroes the spear hits on its way back to Minzitar. Second skill, Shield Assault. The new Shield Assault provides Minzitar with enhanced damage and damage reduction. Shield Assault deals damage to enemies in an area and slows them. It no longer shields Minzitar or stuns an enemy, but will instead put Minzitar in the Phalanx state, reducing damage taken from the front and enhancing his basic attacks into rapid strikes that deal AoE damage. Ultimate King's Calling. Minzitar leaps a short distance and calls 4 Royal Guards to form a field around him. The Royal Guards cannot move, but will attack enemies in the field, and their attacks can trigger equipment effects. Enemies within the field will also be slowed. Before the revamp, the field only prevented enemy heroes from using directional blink skills. The new King's Calling now disables all movement skills. Passive skill, Mark of the King. The redesign of Minzitar's passive shifts its function from support to individual playmaking. The new passive causes his basic attacks and skills to apply a stack of Mark of the King. At max stacks, the marks will detonate to damage and stun the target, and restore a portion of Minzitar's HP. This effect can only trigger once every so often on the same target. The revamped Minzitar not only retained his powerful utility, such as shutting down high mobility heroes, but also received a considerable boost in damage with the new Shield Assault. Pro tips. Since Spear of Glory stuns enemies hit by the tip, aim the end of the skill indicator at the target to more easily pull them in. Anticipate when the enemy burst is coming, and use Shield Assault to minimize damage taken. Shield Assault's enhanced basic attacks benefit from attack speed, so Minzitar with a damage build can have incredible burst in the late game. Target key heroes with King's Calling to cripple their mobility in battle. Combo tips. When laning, use Spear of Glory to pull enemy heroes in, then Shield Assault to slow and cut them down with rapid strikes. In teamfights, try to pull as many enemy heroes as possible with Spear of Glory, then use King's Calling to restrict their movement, and finish with Shield Assault for huge damage. Tactics. Minzitar should focus on farming in the early to mid game. Use Shield Assault to reduce incoming damage or to quickly clear out minion waves. In the late game, Minzitar's crowd control really shines in teamfights. Use King's Calling to strip away the enemy's mobility and Shield Assault for a great burst of damage. We recommend this build, with Demon Hunter Sword and Corrosion Scythe as Minzitar's core equipment. Demon Hunter Sword provides much needed lifesteal and attack speed, while Corrosion Scythe adds even more attack speed to really push Shield Assault's damage. Pick the Fighter emblem to boost Minzitar's damage output. For battle spells, Flicker can be a powerful tool in the mid to late game when used with King's Calling to quickly reach and shut down key targets. Petrify is also recommended as an additional CC to maximize Minzitar's damage during Shield Assault. We hope players will have fun with the revamped Minzitar. Until next time, we'll be seeing you in the Land of Dawn.
My magic flows as freely as the wind. Name of the winds. The storm is coming. The boy was like wind. Listen. It is the sound of the wind. Behold, the fury of the wind! Behold, the fury of the wind! Behold, the fury of the wind!
Slain an enemy! Grab them! Under attack! Killing spree! Double kill!
Optimus Prime, leader of the Autobots. I am Megatron.
Starscream! Bumblebee here and ready to roll.
Meet Grimlock's greatest warrior! Ravage, attack!
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another Hero Revamp Spotlight, this time featuring Minzitar, the Courageous Warrior. Not only has Minzitar been given a new look, but he's also been made into a much more versatile hero. With powerful engagement tools and a direct counter against high-mobility heroes, the fearless Minzitar is a truly formidable presence on the battlefield. Hero Skills. We revamped Minzitar's first skill and ultimate, and completely redesigned his second skill and passive. First skill, Spear of Glory. Minzitar thrusts forward with the Spear of Glory and stuns enemies at the tip of the attack. Minzitar then pulls back his spear after a brief delay, damaging enemies along the way. Prior to the revamp, Spear of Glory only pulled the first enemy hero hit on its way back. The revamp version now pulls all enemy heroes the spear hits on its way back to Minzitar. Second skill, Shield Assault. The new Shield Assault provides Minzitar with enhanced damage and damage reduction. Shield Assault deals damage to enemies in an area and slows them. It no longer shields Minzitar or stuns an enemy, but will instead put Minzitar in the phalanx state, reducing damage taken from the front and enhancing his basic attacks into rapid strikes that deal AoE damage. Ultimate King's Calling. Minzitar leaps a short distance and calls 4 Royal Guards to form a field around him. The Royal Guards cannot move, but will attack enemies in the field, and their attacks can trigger equipment effects. Enemies within the field will also be slowed. Before the revamp, the field only prevented enemy heroes from using directional blink skills. The new King's Calling now disables all movement skills. Passive skill, Mark of the King. The redesign of Minzitar's passive shifts its function from support to individual playmaking. The new passive causes his basic attacks and skills to apply a stack of Mark of the King. At max stacks, the marks will detonate to damage and stun the target, and restore a portion of Minzitar's HP. This effect can only trigger once every so often on the same target. The revamped Minzitar not only retained his powerful utility, such as shutting down high mobility heroes, but also received a considerable boost in damage with the new Shield Assault. Pro tips. Since Spear of Glory stuns enemies hit by the tip, aim the end of the skill indicator at the target to more easily pull them in. Anticipate when the enemy burst is coming, and use Shield Assault to minimize damage taken. Shield Assault's enhanced basic attacks benefit from attack speed, so Minzitar with a damage build can have incredible bursts in the late game. Target key heroes with King's Calling to cripple their mobility in battle. Combo tips. When laning, use Spear of Glory to pull enemy heroes in, then Shield Assault to slow and cut them down with rapid strikes. In teamfights, try to pull as many enemy heroes as possible with Spear of Glory, then use King's Calling to restrict their movement, and finish with Shield Assault for huge damage. Tactics. Minzitar should focus on farming in the early to mid-game. Use Shield Assault to reduce incoming damage or to quickly clear out minion waves. In the late game, Minzitar's crowd control really shines in teamfights. Use King's Calling to strip away the enemy's mobility and Shield Assault for a great burst of damage. We recommend this build, with Demon Hunter Sword and Corrosion Scythe as Minzitar's core equipment. Demon Hunter Sword provides much needed lifesteal and attack speed, while Corrosion Scythe adds even more attack speed to really push Shield Assault's damage. Pick the Fighter emblem to boost Minzitar's damage output. For battle spells, Flicker can be a powerful tool in the mid to late game when used with King's Calling to quickly reach and shut down key targets. Petrify is also recommended as an additional CC to maximize Minzitar's damage during Shield Assault. We hope players will have fun with the revamp Minzitar. Until next time, we'll be seeing you in the Land of Dawn.
My magic flows as freely as the wind. Name of the winds. The storm is coming. The boy who is like wind. Listen. It is the sound of the wind. Behold, the fury of the wind. Behold, the fury of the wind. Behold, the fury of the wind.
Slain an enemy. Trap them. Under attack. Killing spree. Double kill.
Optimus Prime, leader of the Autobots. I am Megatron.
Starscream! Bumblebee here and ready to roll!
Grimlock's greatest warrior! Ravage, attack!
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another Hero Revamp Spotlight, this time featuring Minzitar, the courageous warrior. Not only has Minzitar been given a new look, but he's also been made into a much more versatile hero. With powerful engagement tools and a direct counter against high-mobility heroes, the fearless Minzitar is a truly formidable presence on the battlefield. Hero Skills. We revamped Minzitar's first skill and ultimate, and completely redesigned his second skill and passive. First skill, Spear of Glory. Minzitar thrusts forward with the Spear of Glory and stuns enemies at the tip of the attack. Minzitar then pulls back his spear after a brief delay, damaging enemies along the way, Prior to the revamp, Spear of Glory only pulled the first enemy hero hit on its way back. The revamp version now pulls all enemy heroes the spear hits on its way back to Minzitar. Second skill, Shield Assault. The new Shield Assault provides Minzitar with enhanced damage and damage reduction. Shield Assault deals damage to enemies in an area and slows them. It no longer shields Minzitar or stuns an enemy, but will instead put Minzitar in the Phalanx state, reducing damage taken from the front and enhancing his basic attacks into rapid strikes that deal AoE damage. Ultimate King's Calling. Minzitar leaps a short distance and calls 4 Royal Guards to form a field around him. The Royal Guards cannot move, but will attack enemies in the field, and their attacks can trigger equipment effects. Enemies within the field will also be slowed. Before the revamp, the field only prevented enemy heroes from using directional blink skills. The new King's Calling now disables all movement skills. Passive skill, Mark of the King. The redesign of Minzitar's passive shifts its function from support to individual playmaking. The new passive causes his basic attacks and skills to apply a stack of Mark of the King. At max stacks, the marks will detonate to damage and stun the target, and restore a portion of Minzitar's HP. This effect can only trigger once every so often on the same target. The revamped Minzitar not only retained his powerful utility, such as shutting down high mobility heroes, but also received a considerable boost in damage with the new Shield Assault. Pro tips. Since Spear of Glory stuns enemies hit by the tip, aim the end of the skill indicator at the target to more easily pull them in. Anticipate when the enemy burst is coming, and use Shield Assault to minimize damage taken. Shield Assault's enhanced basic attacks benefit from attack speed, so Minzitar with a damage build can have incredible bursts in the late game. Target key heroes with King's Calling to cripple their mobility in battle. Combo tips. When laning, use Spear of Glory to pull enemy heroes in, then Shield Assault to slow and cut them down with rapid strikes. In teamfights, try to pull as many enemy heroes as possible with Spear of Glory, then use King's Calling to restrict their movement, and finish with Shield Assault for huge damage. Tactics. Minzitar should focus on farming in the early to mid game. Use Shield Assault to reduce incoming damage or to quickly clear out minion waves. In the late game, Minzitar's crowd control really shines in teamfights. Use King's Calling to strip away the enemy's mobility and Shield Assault for a great burst of damage. We recommend this build, with Demon Hunter Sword and Corrosion Scythe as Minzitar's core equipment. Demon Hunter Sword provides much needed lifesteal and attack speed, while Corrosion Scythe adds even more attack speed to really push Shield Assault's damage. Pick the Fighter emblem to boost Minzitar's damage output. For battle spells, Flicker can be a powerful tool in the mid to late game when used with King's Calling to quickly reach and shut down key targets. Petrify is also recommended as an additional CC to maximize Minzitar's damage during Shield Assault. We hope players will have fun with the revamped Minzitar. Until next time, we'll be seeing you in the Land of Dawn.
My magic flows as freely as the wind. Name of the winds. The storm is coming. The boy is like wind. Listen. It is the sound of the wind. Behold, the fury of the wind! Behold, the fury of the wind! Behold, the fury of the wind!
Slain an enemy. Impressive. Turret under attack. Killing spree. Double kill.
Leader of the Autobots. I am Megatron.
Starscream. Bumblebee here and ready to roll.
Meet Grimlock's greatest warrior! Ravage, attack!
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another Hero Revamp Spotlight, this time featuring Minzitar, the courageous warrior. Not only has Minzitar been given a new look, but he's also been made into a much more versatile hero. With powerful engagement tools and a direct counter against high-mobility heroes, the fearless Minzitar is a truly formidable presence on the battlefield. Hero Skills. We revamped Minzitar's first skill and ultimate, and completely redesigned his second skill and passive. First skill, Spear of Glory. Minzitar thrusts forward with the Spear of Glory and stuns enemies at the tip of the attack. Minzitar then pulls back his spear after a brief delay, damaging enemies along the way. Prior to the revamp, Spear of Glory only pulled the first enemy hero hit on its way back. The revamped version now pulls all enemy heroes the spear hits on its way back to Minzitar. Second skill, Shield Assault. The new Shield Assault provides Minzitar with enhanced damage and damage reduction. Shield Assault deals damage to enemies in an area and slows them. It no longer shields Minzitar or stuns an enemy, but will instead put Minzitar in the Phalanx state, reducing damage taken from the front and enhancing his basic attacks into rapid strikes that deal AoE damage. Ultimate King's Calling. Minzitar leaps a short distance and calls 4 Royal Guards to form a field around him. The Royal Guards cannot move, but will attack enemies in the field, and their attacks can trigger equipment effects. Enemies within the field will also be slowed. Before the revamp, the field only prevented enemy heroes from using directional blink skills. The new King's Calling now disables all movement skills. Passive skill, Mark of the King. The redesign of Minzitar's passive shifts its function from support to individual playmaking. The new passive causes his basic attacks and skills to apply a stack of Mark of the King. At max stacks, the marks will detonate to damage and stun the target, and restore a portion of Minzitar's HP. This effect can only trigger once every so often on the same target. The revamped Minzitar not only retained his powerful utility, such as shutting down high-mobility heroes, but also received a considerable boost in damage with the new Shield Assault. Pro tips. Since Spear of Glory stuns enemies hit by the tip, aim the end of the skill indicator at the target to more easily pull them in. Anticipate when the enemy burst is coming, and use Shield Assault to minimize damage taken. Shield Assault's enhanced basic attacks benefit from attack speed, so Minzitar with a damage build can have incredible bursts in the late game. Target key heroes with King's Calling to cripple their mobility in battle. Combo tips. When laning, use Spear of Glory to pull enemy heroes in, then Shield Assault to slow and cut them down with rapid strikes. In teamfights, try to pull as many enemy heroes as possible with Spear of Glory, then use King's Calling to restrict their movement, and finish with Shield Assault for huge damage. Tactics. Minzitar should focus on farming in the early to mid game. Use Shield Assault to reduce incoming damage or to quickly clear out minion waves. In the late game, Minzitar's crowd control really shines in teamfights. Use King's Calling to strip away the enemy's mobility and Shield Assault for a great burst of damage. We recommend this build, with Demon Hunter Sword and Corrosion Scythe as Minzitar's core equipment. Demon Hunter Sword provides much needed lifesteal and attack speed, while Corrosion Scythe adds even more attack speed to really push Shield Assault's damage. Pick the Fighter emblem to boost Minzitar's damage output. For battle spells, Flicker can be a powerful tool in the mid to late game when used with King's Calling to quickly reach and shut down key targets. Petrify is also recommended as an additional CC to maximize Minzitar's damage during Shield Assault. We hope players will have fun with the revamp Minzitar. Until next time, we'll be seeing you in the Land of Dawn.
My magic flows as freely as the wind. Name of the wind. The storm is coming. The boys is like wind. Listen, it is the sound of the wind. Behold, the fury of the wind. Behold, the fury of the wind. Behold, the fury of the wind.
Slain an enemy. Trap them. Under attack. Killing spree. Double kill.
Welcome back, ladies and gents, friends and family. Today we have match 2 for the 5 versus 5 tournament LBBPH Discord community event. And for our match 2, we do have Bhiegas and Friends versus G Saw. And apparently Bhiegas and Friends is going to be one of the strongest team in this tournament. They do have a lot of points underneath their belt. Is able to get a little bit of insider information. And joining the desk today, we do have Eunice, the NACT caster, and also the MLSA staff member, Rem. So Eunice, how are you doing today?
Well, we are going to go into that second game right now, and this is a little bit early still for me. This is going to be one of those PH tournaments, so the time difference is going to be a little bit of a pain in my rear end right now, but we're going to go see Rem with me, and Rem is actually my co-caster even in MLSA. So Rem, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. A lot of momentum coming in from the previous series here, and I'm looking forward to see how this one is going to go. There is a bit of a number advantage for the side of G-Sai here, but as YUWEI mentioned, right? Vegas and Friends, one of the more higher end teams in this tournament. So I think they might potentially be able to hold their own in this 4v5.
Well, if we're talking about 4v5, there is a match that comes into my mind, especially from the North American side. So actually, this might be a little bit backstory for some of you guys, but Gosu, during their M1 run, in the qualifiers, they were able to actually win a 4v5 match. It was something like a Selena roam mid, along with, you know, a jungler and 2 sides. So kind of excited to see what kind of comp they're going to pull out from Bhiegas and Friends, because this 4v5 really is something different.
Absolutely.
Eunice?
But with that being said, right, I really think Kadita is a very popular pick over there. And it's getting banned out for every single match so far that we've seen. And knowing that you actually ran that Kadita, you know, sardines versus the world, used to
Sardine
be
versus
your
the
IGN,
world.
but Rem, I've actually played a couple of rank matches with Rem actually, and Rem's Kadita, he does a little bit of work on that,
Hey,
knowing
now.
that it's a lot of work. I
Hey
mean,
now.
you know, he runs the Odette, but you know, Kadita is also one of his pocket picks. But how are you feeling right now? The Kadita is continuously getting banned out in this PH draft right now. So, what do you think? What are your thoughts?
I want them to lock in this Odette firstly. Oh, dang it. Dang it. I was hopeful for a second there. Come on. Fair, lock it in for me. But with the Kreditsa ban, I do think it's a very strong ban, and I understand it, especially if they want to go for a marksman like Moskov. Kind of gonna deny some of that rotations coming in because you never know which bush this Kreditsa is potentially gonna be waiting for you in, right? Looking at the responses from Vegas and friends right now, locking in this Xavier as well as Euphoria on this Alice. That's gonna be a lot of sustainability throughout that mid to late stages of the match coming in from Vegas and friends. And we have the scaling mage, the Xavier, with that Mystic Fields, being able to provide some CC, some utility for your team with that speed up, as well as the damage that he's going to have as this game goes on, right? But we do see some good responses coming in from the side of G-Sub.
Yeah, the response comes in with that Yuzong pick, able to pick off a lot of the mage and also the marksmans, and also a Lunox being slotted in to kind of deal with the Alice. Now, a 4v5 fight, and they do choose to offer to go for that Xavier. And Xavier, traditionally one of those mages that do require some sort of babysitting, at least throughout the early game, because he does take a couple items to scale. Now, is that going to be a Roam Xavier coming in? I feel like if it's a 4v5 match, a Roam should be slotted into that mid position. Maybe something like a Selena or maybe an Eve where she's able to kind of just do everything by herself.
Yeah, but speaking about doing things by yourself, I do see the Alice, the Xavier. I was kind of worried over that Matilda pick coming in from Tigra. But looks like they're going to go ahead and lock in their Beatrix because we were seeing a lot of magic damage coming in over there. But we're going to go ahead and finalize the last two ban phases here. It's going to be that Fredorin and Kaja also gets banned out, which I feel like maybe they could have picked it up into their own hands, right? Instead of picking up their Beatrix. But going ahead and banning that out for Kaja is going to limit both roams and the suppression that you guys don't want to give out, especially to Seishin on this Lunox. But we're gonna go ahead and potentially skip another ban, or is this a bug that I'm seeing?
Oh, this might be a bug because even on my side of the screen, it does look like, you know, the client is working, but the draft might come into a small issue. Rem, is this something you've seen before? Because I'm kind of new to this.
I know with tournament lobbies, they have a little bit of time, a leeway time after the timer goes on zero, which you just saw here. So it's completely natural for tournament lobbies.
Got it. Now, they do opt to lock in for this Fanny real quick, and they have 2 magic, 2 physical. It's a really well-balanced comp. Of course, they are missing that last member from Bhiegas' side. What do you think, Eunice? This 4v5 fight, you think they're going to be able to overcome this obstacle coming in?
Well, we already see August coming in on this Fanny. A little bit of movement, but I am scared for that late game. Even if it gets to that late game, Moscow locking in with this Trinity build and Seishin coming in with that Lunox Ordering Chaos. It's going to start to do a lot of burst damage, especially on Tiger and his Beatrix and Faya. I think that's how you say his name, right? Xavier is going to need time to scale with that magic shop. So I do want to see where this is going to go. And honestly, 3 members right now on the right side, remind me, is that the friend side? The
Vegas and friends, yeah.
VAF, Vegas and friends.
Yeah, so the friend side over there, 3 of those members, actually, I mean, I guess you can count out the Fanny because Fanny has an early game damage, but 3 of the members, Xavier, Beatrix, and Alice, needs time to scale, and they do have their peak damage towards that mid to late game, which is worrying me just a little bit compared to the other side of the draft.
Absolutely right. And looking at Miss Venaful there on this Lolita, uh, she's that Luminous Blast is gonna be able to catch up this Xavier potentially, right? He is running that flicker, but there's a lot of dive coming in from the side of Jisa, right? They have Shaishin on the Lunox that's famous for that Ruby DD combo. We also have Bobies there on this Yuzhong with that Black Dragon. And so they have a lot working against them. And that's not even accounting for the number advantage as well. So Vegas and Friends has to play this very slowly. We already see Saishin putting in that pressure with that dark skill there.
Yeah, honestly, as the game matures, everyone kind of just gets better and better, and a lot of these matches already are tough. Even 5 versus 5, a lot of the times even the best of the teams, you know, lose this early game advantage. So on the side of Vegas, even though we do know they are considered the better team here, they still have an up-road battle ahead of them, and they have to make sure that they can scale well into the late game. Just like what you said, the Xavier takes a lot of time, the Beatrix takes a lot of time, and also the Alice takes a lot of time.
Like we even right now in this mid lane matchup, we are seeing Faya there have a hard time laning up against this Lunox, and she's able to freeze that lane. She forced out that early game flicker from him, but hopefully Fanny can start making some plays across this map. The faster they come online, the better it's going to be for them, because if they're allowed to scale, they can potentially snowball this with their composition, right? Even though they don't have that number advantage, having that Fanny with that pressure, Freya on this Xavier with those dawning lights, but in comes Fanny.
Steel Cable's doing a little bit of work on this Yuzong. Petra being popped in, and looks like she is going to go get away with the sliver of health rare, but Station coming in with some chaos right there is not going to secure the kill, but it will just drop them dangerously low.
Yeah, Turtle is spawned up right now. Fanny, one of those junglers that kind of do rely on the blue buff, might opt to go for just an uncontested Turtle, giving the advantage for the side of Saw for the side of G-Saw. Now Fanny got picked off real quick.
Aluminum Blast locking in that backside. We do see Renner's Empathy landing some ult and chip damage, but looks like not going to do anything to that Lolita, to Miss Viaful instead of Beautiful over there. But looks like they're holding up pretty well, but the gold deficit is really starting to show.
Now that is going to be a Fanny without that blue buff. So August may not be able to be as beneficial here, but Beatrix.
You see Beatrix almost getting caught out, ordering Chaos Flicker being burnt by Station. Able to get that kill, but that is a trade. But is that something that you really want, right? There's only 4 members right now, and I feel like this babysitting coming in from the lead is a little bit too much, knowing that it's just 4 members, but looks like they want this Moskov fed to the fullest potential.
Yeah, the Lolita, especially with the shield, just is able to block out 3 of the skills coming in from the side of Vegas, right? The Lolita can block the Beatrix's machine gun, can block the Xavier ults and the first skill, and also Alice's first skill. So having that Lolita slotted in right here, especially in a 4v5 situation, is going to be really, really tough for the side of Vegas.
But the Steel Cable is doing a little bit of chip damage on that Yuzong. Not going to find the answer that these Fanny players are looking for in that early game.
And we're seeing Jisa with this heavy aggression right now, constantly invading. They have the Mortis to afford them the room to do that, right? You have this Xavier, he has to play safe, or he can be picked off very easily. And we do see them just giving up some of these objectives here, and they really don't have, a choice considering the matchups that they are going up against, right? But maybe we might see something happen here.
I mean, we love this, right? A 4v5 fight. The ones that have the number advantage just going around bullying, making sure that the one that does not have the numbers just kind of stay low throughout the whole entire game. We want to see something like that. It kind of shows that, hey, both these teams are strong now. Bot side coming in.
Blood Ode being triggered in by Euphoria is gonna not do enough damage on this Yuzong, dropping her down dangerously low. Yuzong still wants to look for this blood right here, but she's gonna go ahead and back off there. And Yuzong putting so much pressure in her own lane.
I mean, he can afford to do that, right? He's already going ahead and cutting the lane. There's not going to be much rotations coming in from Xavier. We do know that he has the skill in that late game, but I fear for him. Look at the positioning coming in from the side of Jisa right now. And looking at these items, YUWEI, take it away.
Yeah, we are heading into this 5 minutes where everyone has already looked to complete that first item. You do see the Xavier kind of struggling to grab up that Enchanted Talisman, the item that is going to let his cooldowns flow now. With all the other items up on the board, everyone is completing up to their first item. Moskov does have the Croatian Scythe. You do see the Yuzong also picking up that Hunter Strike. So a lot of mobility, a lot of items being built up 5 minutes in. It's a 5k gold lead, Rem.
Absolutely right, and it's not looking too good for the side of Bhiegas and friends, but they're playing into their win condition right now. They're not forcing engages. They're playing it very passive. As the game scales on, we do see a beautiful Mystic Fields coming out there.
Wow.
And so here's a kill. Spirit of Destruction coming down from the top side. Is able to get a kill from Beatrix, going ahead and locking in on these lanes. But look at that Alice.
Yeah, the Alice is proxying 2 lanes in the base. That is just kind of, you know, one of the things Alice has. They're able to just jump around, making sure that these lanes do get cleared. And a 4v5 fight, the side of Bhiegas right now, they were able to grab up 2 of those kills, although they are still down 5k gold. Honestly, a trade is not so bad.
Absolutely right. And as like I was saying, they're playing into their win condition. As the game scales on, yes, they are at a number disadvantage right now. But Alice, right, Euphoria, she's running that vengeance. We do know Alice builds that sustain as well as some of that damage items. She goes for that hybrid build. Vengeance hurts this Moskov, right? And then you have Xavier with the Mystic Fields, the Dawning Lights. That's going to be some constant poke damage coming in. And then you have this family that can kind of kite around and secure some cleanups, as well as Beatrix, right? That's going to be able to land some more damage here. But speaking of damage, we do see a concealed play potentially seeking out Euphoria on this Alice. How is he going to respond?
Looks like the setup is happening, but Euphoria is going to be able to get away. She's kind of swinging her wings around like a little happy little duck, you know, kind of getting around that difficult situation. But Donnie Light's going straight down the middle to go ahead and help clean up these minions.
But here's the thing. Bhiegas on August on this Fanny, kind of unable to grab up the blue buff, especially in a 4v5 situation. The side of G-Saw really is trying to use their number advantage, making sure that there's always 4 members of their team on that blue buff and just kind of denying this resource away from the Fanny.
Now, I like that G-Saw kind of, they were going to take that turtle. However, they realized it was close to that 8-minute mark where the first Lord is going to spawn. And I think what they want to do right now is close out this game as early as possible, right? We do see the damage already coming in from the side of Bhiegas in front, so they want to end this game. Usually, when teams have the advantage, they wait for that 12-minute mark for that first Luminous Lord, but they said no, we want to end this game. We want to make it swift. We don't want to give the side of Bhiegas in front an opportunity to capitalize, because realistically speaking, as a player, losing a number advantage, whether it's just like a 4v5 or losing to an AFK, it really puts a hit to your ego, especially as a player. And this is a tournament.
And Beatrix is getting knocked off, and this Xavier Fire is also going to get knocked off, which is now going to immediately turn into a 5v2 fight. Vanny dropped a little bit low there. This Lord marching down that top, that's a little uncalled for. Shutdown coming in from Euphoria on this Blood Ode. On this Little's gonna go ahead and lock a kill, but whoa, about to get out, but gonna be a double kill to the hands. It looks like this might just be a closing game here, but You see Xavier is back with the Mystic Field, trying to go ahead and defend. They can't defend this. I guess that is the power of Xavier and Beatrix, and that's a lot of duo combos that we want to see, right? Two really fast minion wave clearing heroes doing their little dance, trying to get out that Lord out of the way, but looks like we're gonna see another team fight here.
Yeah, the closing statement was denied from the side of Bhiegas and friends. They're kind of, using their advantage, kind of like what Rem was bouncing off of. The Xavier late game, the Beatrix late game, those are really fast lane clearing heroes, and even that Alice is going to be relatively hard to catch. You already see 3-man rotating bot.
You do see the potential setup going down to the bot side, but Euphoria getting called out by the Spear of Destruction is going to go ahead and get immediately taken off and welcome Euphoria to the casters. This might not be your typical world here, but I hope you enjoy your stay for a little bit. But that's not something you want to see, getting instantly bursted down like that. And if you look at the gold, we're looking at a 10k deficit right now.
I do think they need to play a little more safe, right? They have power in their base right now. The Mystic Fields from the Xavier for that zonage. But speaking of zonage, the Black Dragon being popped.
Looking out to zone out the entire backline over there, but looks like they're going to wait and play that patient game. And Dawning Light coming out in that mid-side Mystic Field denies that concealed play. Lolita trying to look right into the setup, and Lucy Moscow just locking on this turret. Euphoria, this come out stun, getting out, and looks like that damage is a little bit too much to handle. Unicorns coming in, and Dawning Light actually was able to take out three members right now for the side. What just happened? This was a full 5v3 fight, and this Fanny is not coming online, which means fire, but Flicker Chaos coming in from Lunox. That Dawning Light.
No way.
A lot of damage, but can he defend it? Yes, he does. But does he have the skill sets right now to go ahead and defend these minions? Yes, he does. Because the inhibitor minions are going to save his life right now, and that's some pretty shocking things we just saw right there.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a 4v5 game, but August was kind of looking like he disconnected for a little bit, and they were actually able to defend 3 versus 5. That's just the power of Xavier and Beatrix. They're able to kind of nuke down a lot of the opponents, while Euphoria on this Alice was just able to soak up so much damage now. Looking to get a free contested Lord Rem.
Oh, that was so close. What a good Dawning Light coming in from Xavier. And man, what a defense. We did see that sniper shot landing onto the Yuzhang there. So good aid coming in from Beatrix. But this is what I was saying, right? The side of Bhiegas and friends, they have to play for that base. Alice, yes, she needs her stacks, but the minions are coming up there. Let them come to you. You have the Mystic Fields. You have the damage now. Xavier's online. We saw him being able to hold off a full man team from Jisa and successfully defend. And now that they're all on board, Beatrix locking in that Demon Hunt, that Blade of Despair, and that Malefic Roar. She has that burst damage. She has the penetration. Xavier has his power spike as well. So play the patient game. Let Jisa come to you. But speaking of,
Luna Blast locking into the box. Euphoria trying to go ahead and defend, but the 4v5 was just not into their favor. And the victory is going to go to the team with the full 5 lineup. And Rem, break it down for me.
now, it was a good game, right? A number advantage, yes, but I do like that Bhiegas and friends still put up a fight. It was a close kill game. You'd expect something like this to end in potentially around 7 minutes, right? But no, they gave it their all, and they fought back, right? A losing battle, an uphill battle, and they almost had it. They successfully defended some clashes, but man, Jisa coming out on top, YUWEI.
Yeah, Jisa kind of, dominated the whole entire game. I think it was due to the pressure that was in the jungle. They just really never let August breathe on this Fanny. Now, the MVP does belong to Miss Beautiful. 73% kill participation, no deaths, just having a very clean game. And Bopis on this Yuzong, also a very high kill participation with one of the highest damage, but the highest damage does belong to Senshin on this Lunox. Now, with a 5 versus 4 win here. Hopefully the last member of Vegas and Friends does show up as we go into a small break.
I am Optimus Prime, leader of the Autobots. I am Megatron.
Starscream. Bumblebee here and ready to roll.
Grimlock's greatest warrior! Ravage, attack!
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another Hero Revamp Spotlight, this time featuring Minzitar, the Courageous Warrior. Not only has Minzitar been given a new look, but he's also been made into a much more versatile hero. With powerful engagement tools and a direct counter against high-mobility heroes, the fearless Minzitar is a truly formidable presence on the battlefield. Hero Skills. We revamped Minzitar's first skill and ultimate, and completely redesigned his second skill and passive. First skill, Spear of Glory. Minzitar thrusts forward with the Spear of Glory and stuns enemies at the tip of the attack. Minzitar then pulls back his spear after a brief delay, damaging enemies along the way. Prior to the revamp, Spear of Glory only pulled the first enemy hero hit on its way back. The revamped version now pulls all enemy heroes the spear hits on its way back to Minzitar. Second skill, Shield Assault. The new Shield Assault provides Minzitar with enhanced damage and damage reduction. Shield Assault deals damage to enemies in an area and slows them. It no longer shields Minzitar or stuns an enemy, but will instead put Minzitar in the Phalanx state, reducing damage taken from the front and enhancing his basic attacks into rapid strikes that deal AoE damage. Ultimate King's Calling. Minzitar leaps a short distance and calls 4 Royal Guards to form a field around him. The Royal Guards cannot move, but will attack enemies in the field, and their attacks can trigger equipment effects. Enemies within the field will also be slowed. Before the revamp, the field only prevented enemy heroes from using directional blink skills. The new King's Calling now disables all movement skills. Passive skill, Mark of the King. The redesign of Minzitar's passive shifts its function from support to individual playmaking. The new passive causes his basic attacks and skills to apply a stack of Mark of the King. At max stacks, the marks will detonate to damage and stun the target, and restore a portion of Minzitar's HP. This effect can only trigger once every so often on the same target. The revamped Minzitar not only retained his powerful utility, such as shutting down high mobility heroes, but also received a considerable boost in damage with the new Shield Assault. Pro tips: since Spear...
Welcome back, everyone, to the Philippines Mobile Legends Bang Bang Community Discord match. This is going to be game 2 versus Bhiegas and Friends and G-Saw. Now, we saw an exciting first match coming in. It was a 4v5, but the side of Bhiegas and Friends was able to pick up that last member and make this match fair. I'm kind of excited to see what's in store now. On the caster's desk, we have myself. We also have Rem as the analyst and Eunice. Now, Rem, I know you saw the match earlier. This match is going to be a 5 versus 5. You think the momentum is going to be switching here?
Absolutely. I do think it's scary territory for the side of GSAW right now. Vegas and Friends had a beautiful defense, and I do think with a full lineup, now we're going to see some of that pressure. So the question is, was it just luck for the side of GSAW with, you know, them having the upper advantage here? I want to see how they're going to hold off in an actual, you know, 5v5 plays there.
I know this time they aren't playing around, so we're gonna go ahead and see. And YUWEI, this is no North American tournament. It's a little bit too early for North American tournaments. This is a PH tournament, so guys, it is not NA. We are in the PH region right now. But damn, this Kadita is getting out every single time. And now YUWEI has played Kadita, right? I'm gonna say this every single time. I'm gonna bully YUWEI second. So YUWEI used to be a member of Team Gosu over here in NA, but like literally 4 of the bands that is on the board right now, he plays at such a professional level. But the Kadita is so interesting to me because YUWEI over here used to dominate, and even in that roam position with that Kadita. Sardines versus the World used to be his old in-game name. So I'm going to put a little bit of a little bully right there on YUWEI. But go ahead and see 1-1 getting slotted in early. And in response, Yuzong and Hayabusa. I've never seen such fast locks before. But what are we thinking?
Yeah, so... you know, the Kadita bands honestly is inspiring me to go for another journey. Maybe we gotta bring back Sardines versus the World for a week or two. The Yuzong and Hayabusa, it's kind of interesting. The Hayabusa, I understand. It's one of those counters to that 1-1, making sure when the Shadow Kill is, or the Shadow Jutsu is available, he is able to just chunk down 1-1 with no problem. But there's still so many good heroes available. There's the Glue, which have been prioritized by a lot of different teams, especially when the Famous is banned out. But the response coming in, Rem.
Now, I do like this Edith pick by matching up some of that chunkiness. Going up against this Black Dragon here, that Edith could be Flex, she could be the roamer, she could also be that EXP laner as well. So I do like that versatility coming in from the side of Vegas and Friends. But we're gonna see G-Saw lock in this Xavier themselves, and I do like it. They have the frontline presence coming in from Yuzong with this Black Dragon. Now they have the Dawning Light and Mystic Fields at their disposal to help with some of that zonage coming in. We do know that Valentino will have a harder time, as well as the Edith, right? As he can kind of immobilize them in their traps for either Bopies on the Zhuzhong to jump in with the potential Petrify combo, and then for Dai there to hop in on the Hayabusa as well with the Quad Shadow to potentially get some cleanup. So there's a lot of potential with them picking up this Xavier in that mid lane.
Now that Xavier, I love me my Xavier, right? Doing a lot of damage towards the mid to late game with that Mystic Field. I'm pretty sure he's going to go ahead and potentially lock it in with that magic shop that we do need to wait for them to scale, right? But Faya is gonna go ahead and lock in this Valentina, and YUWEI gonna go ahead
YUWEI?
and lock in this Edith. And looks like I have to be careful when I'm doing my play-by-plays upcoming, not to say YUWEI instead of YUWEI. So looks like we have to be a little bit careful over there. But let's look at these bans right now getting finalized. Rem, break it down for me. Or actually, is it YUWEI's turn?
Oh, no. I mean, both turns are fine. If I want to go on the dance floor, I will. They do opt to ban out for 2 of the assassins with the Hayabusa picked right here. Wow. I was looking for a tank Lancelot, in my honest opinion, but they opt to go for a Saber and a Martis. And this Saber, I'm just going to say it. It's going to be slotted into that roam position, Rem.
Absolutely, 100%. I like it. Having an answer for Soul with that Blazing Duet, they have the knockups from him, but there's also 3 knockups at their disposal, right?
Horology is my craft.
It's Edith there. She has the knockup at her disposal. And August also has the damage reduction as well as that knockup as well. And then Saber, right? So not only do they counter Soul, but once one of them get to Seishin there on this Xavier, it's going to be a little bit of trouble for them. But I do like that Phenaful there picking up this Diggy. It's going to help them. He can also purify some of those weakness points from this Wan and potentially deny that crossbow of Tang being popped in. So it could be used offensively or defensively and work out in the favor of Chisa. But in terms of overall draft composition, I'm going to have to give it to Chisa in this game. I like their draft.
Okay, yeah. Honestly, I feel like the Saber is one of those really interesting picks, especially going up against a Claude and a Hayabusa. And even that Diggy, I feel like, does extremely well. But we've seen the Diggy being banned out constantly, even in North America, even here now in this PH tournament. I wonder if this Diggy is going to be super impactful, because honestly, Diggy does do well against that Saber, especially towards that mid to late game. Is going to negate a lot of the CC, especially with that triple sweep. And you know, in terms of this early game advantage, especially towards the mid side, I'm going to have to give the advantage towards the side of Bhiegas and friends, just because the Xavier is going to take a lot of time to scale. He needs his items, and also the Claude on the boss side is going to take a while to scale, Worm.
Absolutely right. But what I want to see coming in from the side of Bhiegas and friends, I want Valentina to prioritize this time journey here. But speaking of time,
whoa,
Euphoria coming in with those triple blades over there, gonna do a little bit of damage, and on this Claude, which is not somewhere you really want the damage to go towards, but we are still looking at no trade so far.
Yeah, honestly, I felt like the flicker from Euphoria on this Saber was a little bit unnecessary, but they're able to kind of poke down Soul on this Claude. And early game marksmen, when they are low, it's going to be extremely hard for them to farm. And he does pick up all of the minions, but the Inspire.
He's gonna go ahead and pick up that first blood on Soul on this Claude. And Diggy's looking a little lost without his partner over there on that bot side, kind of walking around like an egg over there. But Euphoria gonna do a little bit of damage once again, trying to deny all of those minions and the gold coming in on that bot side.
now I like the pressure that they're applying, right? We do see August in the back line, the Decimation coming in, picking up that kill.
Yeah, the Decimation does end up picking up that kill. It was a very fast trade. Diggy, again, one of those immobile heroes now. With the Martis being shown onto that bot side, will the side of G-Saw able to get this turtle coming up right here, Rem?
We do see Bhiegas and friends already setting up. Saber has his level 4 and he's already looking for the invade. There he goes.
Triple sweep coming in from Saber, not able to lock Dawning Light, putting Euphoria down pretty dangerously low, but that is still a buff into the hands of Haya, which is going to be Dai. And looks like August on this Martis is going to go ahead and secure that turtle uncontested, but look at the setup in the mid lane. But looks like we're going to shift our attention over to the rotations coming in from Bhiegas and friends over here. Ooh, Decimation locking a kill on. I was waiting for one of you guys to pick it up because I thought nothing was going to happen, but August really is proving me wrong. Triple sweep coming in. We do see the time journey being popped in by Diggy Miss Venus Ball coming in on that Diggy, but looks like nothing yet. Too much traded yet.
Yeah, the triple sweep kind of coming in on that Diggy, using that time journey to kind of just negate some of that damage. And it kind of just shows you this Diggy is going to be proved to be something that is going to be really hard to deal with, especially with the Saber now. Top side, YUWEI. Is that YUWEI? YUWEI is able to pick up. YUWEI is able to pick up a kill, a solo kill onto Bopus here, and Rem does look like there's a small snowball coming in, especially on the side of Bhiegas and friends here.
I mean, I mentioned it, right? We see the actual gameplays and rotations coming in from a full 5-man team. We do see Euphoria, though, potentially going to be picked off here.
Looks like the triple sweep is not enough, and Haya was able to get out with those quad shadows. Also, with the assist of the shadow kill, but Fire gonna go ahead and do a little damage on this Diggy. Is he gonna come behind the casters? Just not today. And Soul is gonna be able to get out untouched with Dexter behind his back.
Yeah, Diggy, honestly, even if he dies, I don't think he comes back to the caster desk. He kind of just morphs into that little chicken, that little egg, and just kind of runs around the map now. Xavier.
More coils and decimation in return to go ahead and take Senshin off the board, which is not something you're looking for, right?
Whoa.
But triple sweep going to that backside, and that time Judy's gonna go ahead and nullify that CC, the airborne coming in from this Saber, and looks like that is going to be a buff into the hands of August, actually. Or I don't know who just picked that up. Is it Euphoria or August picking up that blue buff? And it's going to be August.
Man, it's like we're seeing what happened last game, right? Jisa had the Mortis and they were heavy on the invades, and now that Bhiegas and friends have it themselves, we see them playing it to the T, to perfection right now. He has the level advantage, and they're gonna go ahead and secure this turtle relatively easy without any contest coming in. I do like that they're able to bait out this time journey and then potentially make their rotation to this bot lane, and I like what I'm seeing coming in from the side of Bhiegas and friends this time around.
Yeah, 2-man coming in bot.
Triple sweep landing on Soul's gonna go ahead and take him off and put in behind the caster's desk with Dexter there, but looks like the time journey has been used and not a lot of utility was left there for them to go ahead and defend. But one thing I want to point out, let's talk about this. Diggy with Revitalize. What are we thinking?
Yeah, that is something interesting, but the new Revitalize is a buff. It's able to kind of stay on, but Diggy getting marked right away.
Looks like the crossbow Tang is not going to do the damage. Triple? No, Triple is not going to land. The quad shadow was able to do a little bit of damage, but the shadow kill is not going to be able to go in. But triple sweep, however, is going to go ahead and assist August and take it off that Xavier. And look how sad he looks in that mid lane, though, with the Jujutsu skin. But that is a kill taken off the board.
I like the response, right? They did find a trade in that bot side, but man, YUWEI there on this Eat It, making this Black Dragon have a hard time potentially having a way up there in that EXP lane, right? They're gonna go find a trade. They found the mid lane tower and as well. Gonna go ahead and secure another one for themselves in that top lane. So I do like that Bhiegas and friends is having some answers, and that made them win out on this trade here. So they're going to be able to potentially apply some more pressure in the spot lane and take this tower here as well.
Yeah, but one of the things that's going in good for GSA is they do have a lot of scaling heroes. Claude being one of those heroes that do require a couple more items, but a 4-man dive looking to come collapse on the bot side.
We do see Fire. Decimation locking it on this Diggy. Mortar coils from August. Gonna go ahead and target. Tension Decimation is gonna be unlocked. Soul on the run. Dexter is able to get out there with the mirror image coming from Dexter, but look at Haya potentially almost getting caught up by Euphoria. Soul has the ult. Is he gonna spot him out in that bush? Looks like he's not. He's gonna get away safely, but that is a trade. Not so much in the favor right now over there for the BHA friends over there.
Absolutely right. And I do like the rotations that I'm seeing coming in. But speaking of things coming in, Bopey is going to join us up here on the caster's desk
Caster's
yet
desk.
again. As he's not having this snowball advantage that he did in the first game. So, I mean, I said it in draft. It might have been a luck thing, you guys.
You know what we should do as 1-1 gets this pick off on this Diggy is that every single time we say caster's desk, everyone comes in for that. I think that'd be a pretty funny thing to do. And this Lord coming down right here, uncontested from the side of Bhiegas and friends. We kind of saw this coming. Their draft just, it feels like they just play really, really well, especially with the Saber Rum coming in.
Now, when you're going up against one of these assassin roamers, right? Even the Kadita roam, me
Whoa.
potentially, August diving in pretty deep there, but he can afford to do that, right? But might have been overconfident.
Looks like the decimation was trying to lock him, but looks
Little
like
bit of a misplay.
ooh. I'm gonna just toss it right back to the analyst. I don't know what I just saw. Analyst, take it away.
The Lord is marching down onto that bot side. A little bit of a misplay happening. Saber kind of used his flicker prematurely. Didn't find the right target. Now, even with some of the spells and also the jungler down, it does look like Bhiegas is gonna be able to pick up a kill out top side along with the tower, but a small fight happening.
Mr. Shield doing a little bit of damage on the bot side. We just see Euphoria Day on the chase for the Saber. Wow. Like coming straight down the middle, doing so much damage right there. Shadow kill locking on, but it might just get taken off by Fire on this Valentina. But also, we do see the Yuzong going down, but Mumi on this Edith. I have to be careful not to say YUWEI right now, but break down these items for me.
Yeah, I do like what I'm seeing. This 1-1 potentially building into that Wind Talker as her next item, right? She's potentially going for that full attack speed route, so she'll have an easier time packing some of these weakness finders. We are seeing Valentina building into that burst with that lightning trench on, and there she goes, securing that item. But speaking of things being secured, Euphoria finding a kill on this Claude yet again.
Yeah, 10 minutes in. The scoreboard is 14-3. There is about a 7k gold lead. Hayabusa kind of not having the best time of his life right now. The difference, the gold difference, especially with the jungler, is already sitting at a 3k, and 3k may just be a blade of despair, but on a tank Martis, he is going to be looking like a little bit unstoppable. Now, YUWEI, top side right here. Bobus is in the bush, making sure that he has the vision, and 3-man coming in.
We do see YUWEI coming in. We do see the airborne coming in. As Yuzong, but Euphoria was trying to get a look on something, but Wama doing a little bit of damage. And this High needs to stop saying peekaboo and actually start putting in the work and come online, Haya. Oh, wait, no, we're not done yet. Triple Sweep coming in is going to take out this Xavier. Tiger being popped out. Do you see Black Dragon in that back side? We do see August coming in. Killing spree activated by Wama. Crossbow Ping has been activated. It's going to help assist a kill on this Yuzong by August on this Martis. And Soul kind of still trying to look to defend, or potentially just try to defend those minions, but he's going to go right back to with Dexter. At least he's taking off the casters this time, right? But like I said, this Aya really needs to come online. Stop saying peekaboo and really go ahead. But Triple Sweep once again.
Peekaboo from the Saber.
I didn't like coming down that mid side. Gonna go ahead and take down before shutdown coming in. August gonna go ahead and take out this quad. We do see the turrets are just getting destroyed one by one. Look at the damage of the missing field. Crossbow of Tang being activated, but not triggered yet. YUWEI gonna go ahead and do a little bit of damage on this Yuzong. Oh my goodness. Dawning Light coming down that middle, and I don't know if you guys saw that, but the Primal Wrath on that Edith just shipped like
so much damage
away in 2 seconds.
Man, she had her time there in that early game, being able to take down Bopi so much, and she's scaling pretty well in this game, right? But the side of Bhiegas and friends gonna go ahead and secure this Lord uncontested right now. The side of G-Star, their back is kind of against the wall, YUWEI.
Yeah, you can kind of see the impact that Diggy has, not actually for the team that picked the Diggy, but actually for the side of Bhiegas and friends. You know, picking up this Diggy last pick, especially against the Valentina, is always a tricky situation because the Valentina can just use that IMU to take away that ultimate. And you saw the impact when that Yuzong came in with the Black Dragon, when the Xavier was coming in, especially with that stun, the Diggy was just kind of able to negate a lot of that CC coming in. Now, Hayabusa's in this bush looking to see if he's going to get one.
Is he gonna be a peekaboo? Is it gonna be another peekaboo? He's the number night today for you. Wama's gonna be the one doing the night streams for them. But we do see August coming to the backside, and Misty Field coming in doing a lot of damage. Venus on this Bhiegas and go ahead and lock in a kill on August. Triple sweep from Meteor is gonna go ahead and continue that kill. Fire coming in with Claude, taking off the board as well. YUWEI is gonna go ahead and take off a kill on this Diggy. Starting line coming straight down the middle. Shutdown coming in from Miss Haya. Looks like he said no peekaboo today. Gonna go ahead and look for a little bit more, but Wamwa locking in his turret. And this game is now, oh, this is about to get personal, right? They just lost that last game, but break down these stats for me.
I mean, we saw it, right? The early snowball coming in for the side of Vegas and friends here. Looking at some of the items they built in. Wan, she did opt in for that attack speed route, not going for the usual Trinity build that we have known for, potentially building that in as her last item here, right? We do see MIUWEI with that hybrid coming in, but that's also a Calamity Reaper on her for some additional true damage that's going to be coming in. So good itemization coming in, but break down some of the statistics for us, YUWEI.
So that kind of makes sense why MIUWEI was able to kind of just burst down a lot of the members coming in from G Saw. Now, you kind of see the kill participation across the board is not relatively too great, but the one that stands out is going to be Euphoria on this Saber, able to dish out honestly the second most damage behind MIUWEI and able to grab up the highest kill participation. If there was an MVP in my book, it would definitely be him. But once again, you know, Tigra on this 1-1 able to get so much of that real estate, 58%, also with a 19% damage dealt. You know, and the other MVP will be going to Effa on this Valentina, able to get a lot of kill participation along with some of the damage. So the synergy from this mid lane from Bhiegas and friends kind of just showing off. Now we are going to go into the next match, so we will take a short break.
Optimus Prime, leader of the Autobots.
All right, everyone, friends and family, ladies and gents, welcome back to game 2 for the MLBB Philippines Community Discord Tournament. On the left side, we do have G Saw, and on the right side, we do have Bhiegas and friends. The score is 1-1, so this will be a sudden death for the best of 3 series. Now, on the casting desk, we do have myself and Rem as the analysts, with also Eunice, the NACT caster. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing great. You know, it's the score is even up across the board. It's 1-1 right now. We do see G-Sub priming this for Ramos as their first pick, but again, August locking in this Martis. The power of this decimation is way too strong, right? He said it himself. 4,000 words and not a single worthy foe, and he proved that last game. But again, YUWEI locking in this edict, and I like it so far. If it's not broken, don't try to fix it. And I do like that they're keeping their same draft. They have the synergy, they have the itemizations coming in. So I like what I'm seeing for the side of Bhiegas and friends so far.
Yeah, but here's the thing that's extremely sad for me. We won't be able to see the sardines in action. For those of you guys that are new to my channel, the Sardines, which aka is known as the Kadita, I've been playing it quite a bit myself, and to be able to see it being banned out every single game just means that Sardine versus World is going to be back. So, you know, the response coming in for that Edith pick, they are opting to go for that Lapu. I do think it is a better option instead of that Yuzong going against that Edith, and they do pick up this Melissa, and I feel like it is only to protect the fair mispick. Melissa, one of those heroes that do a lot of AoE damage, especially with the puppet. Now, going into the second ban phase, the response was going to be that Farsa, Rem.
I'm going to have to ask Sol a question.
Whoa. Welcome back.
Oh, hello. I'm back, but I'm sorry to cut you off there, Rem, my beautiful co-cast over there, but I'm going to have to ask the question to you guys. Really quickly.
Was Yoshi in the house? Yes, Yoshi was in the house.
No, not Yoshi. We're going back into the draft. I don't know what Yoshi you heard. Yeah, I don't know what Yoshi heard. But Sol is gonna lock in this Melissa, right? So my question for you is Dexter and Claude, or
Rem?
Melissa and a puppet? What are we feeling for that marksman pick right there?
Yeah, I'm not too sure, right? They did ban out the 1-1, which they picked up last game. But there's still a lot of options that can go into her. You have this Brody, he's on the board. Claude is also on the board. And usually one of the responses going in to a Melissa in terms of that laning phase, right? And I would like for them to pick up something like that to go with their team composition. I do like that they already have an answer for her, right? This Feathered Airstrike is going to be able to burst down not only this Melissa, but it is an answer for the Cold Altar as well, right? But then you also have maybe there with this Edith that can also deal some of that damage that's going to be coming in. So I do think in terms of draft and counters so far, I'm going to give it to the side of Bhiegas and friends.
Yeah, Bhiegas and friends does look like they have a stronger, especially with that Edith pick and the Martis. There's 2 CCs that are relatively heavy and considered the front line. They do finish out this second ban phase. The Moskov was opted to ban out, so that Dexter is still going to be available, Unison. With the Kaja being banned out, ooh,
give me a target.
Hey, Leslie here.
All right, so I'm already having mixed feelings, all right? I'm having mixed feelings because the thing is, as an NACT caster, I've seen all of these, well, kind of all of these heroes getting picked up onto the board, but the thing is, the success rate and the rate that they're actually able to execute it out, that's really the issue right now, right? This is the first time I'm going to actually see a Matilda being drafted in a very long time. But now Tigra went ahead and locked in this Leslie, and in NACT, a member of Fallout, which is going to be Guapsi. It's going to be that marksman area, right? He did lock in that Leslie, but it just wasn't into the favorite team fight. There is no mobility coming in over there for that Leslie for Venus and Friends, right? But the thing is, see, like this is kind of the draft that Fallout kind of had, but they lack that mobility. But if you look at the side over there, there's 2
much backline dive coming in from that Lapu, and the Faramis coming with the second Colt Altar, saving Grace, and then the circling Eagle coming in from this Matilda. I'm kind of worried for that Leslie pick, but you guys are the analysts. I'm gonna let you guys break it down a little bit further more than I can, but go ahead, break it down for me.
Chicka, break it down, Rum.
Now, in terms of overall draft, yes, there is a lot of backline pressure coming in from the side of GSA, but the same could be said for Vegas and Friends. Not only do they have Tigra on this Leslie, that's gonna be some poke. They have MUWEI on this Edith again, and then you have Euphoria on this Hilda, right? And Karina, she is still an assassin jungler. We did see them pull up an assassin against this Martis, who's going to be building that tank route. Karina does have mystery shop, so that's potentially going to be a magic damage Karina coming in for the side of GSA. And I do think overall, Vegas and Friends still has more pressure here. Yes, the Karina can mitigate some of those basic attacks, but looking at the Farsa, that is a skill-based hero. Even Euphoria on this Hilda is skill-based heroes, right? The only really counter that she's going to have an easier time up against is going to be Tigra on this Leslie, and that's not who Leslie is going to be focusing. She's going to focus the Faramis, she's going to focus Saul, and that's what you want. And we already see an invade coming in.
And the buff is going to be picked up still by Dre on this Karina. And same with that last game. Dre running this Haya and now running this Karina. Not having the best time right now as August is just taking all that farm right now.
Yeah, the Karina just wasn't able to really defend that blue buff, that purple buff coming in. There is a 2-man cut, and honestly, Lapu Bopus, he has to try to have the ability to stop the Edith and Hilda from cutting. That is just going to be an extremely fast rotation, especially with the concussive blast, and Euphoria already proving to be a menace, denying a lot of these jungle pressures coming in. And you do see the Martis August coming in right here.
Drop dangerously low, and first blood into the hands of August on this Mars. Looks like this is his bread and butter pick. Reminds me of Alex from the Empire, right?
Shout out to Alex.
Absolutely, but I do want to talk about this lineup really quickly, though. It's going to be Faramis up against a Farsa, but I'm a little worried for the little tussle between the Faramis and the Leslie.
Absolutely right, but that's not what I'm worried for. I'm worried for Dai here on this Karina. He's already level 3. He's the same level as the Wolmer coming in for the side of Vegas and Friends. August already scaling.
Oh, no.
He's at level 5, and Euphoria applying that pressure, keeping him intact.
Yeah, might be that emblem coming in. If he had that jungle emblem, he should be able to do a little bit more, but now he's just sitting at this mid side. He really has nothing that he can do. In August coming in from the backside here.
Reduce the Mortal Coils locking in. The Colt Altar has been popped in by Faramis in that backside, but at what cost? We do see just Matilda doing some damage. We do see the Feather of Heaven coming out in the backside. Whoa!
No.
Flicker! Starting coming in by MUWEI on this Edith. He's gonna go ahead and take off 4 members, which is almost a full wipeout over there, and that's not looking too good right now. Oh, go away, being unlocked in by Soul. Decimation is going to go ahead and lock a kill on Soul, and that is also Faya, which is going to be this Farsa taking off the board as well.
I do like that response, still being able to find that kill. But speaking of things to be found, Euphoria gonna get pulled with that Shadow Stampede, but that is a Hilda doing what Hilda does best. And look at the rotations coming in, man.
Oh my goodness, Euphoria being a whole menace. Edith with that follow-up Shadow Stampede, pulling them. Dre barely hanging on to his dear life over there. Gonna go back home, recharge a little bit of health, but that is not what Dre has been wanting to think about as soon as he walked into the Land of Dawn today.
Yeah, we are looking at a 3-4 minute game right here. Already 1-5 on the scoreboard. Farsa able to use the Feather Airstrike to pick up a kill. Bopus coming in on that mid side, but the invade is still happening, and it just kind of seems like the side of Bhiegas and friends just has it all right here.
Oh, decimation being unlocked on August. Let me go ahead and find a kill. Looks like Matilda's up next on the board. Chomp, chomp, goodbye. Cold Altar has been popped in by Faramis, but he's not just hitting the time right. Oh, first kill coming in from this Karina is going to go ahead and find an answer on YUWEI.
But she's rotating down towards that turtle side, but so is August, right? We do see that flooded airstrike coming in, but there goes Euphoria, but go away being popped.
He really said go away.
Yeah, the go away was popped as August is looking to get this turtle. Not really too contested. The level difference between the jungler is 9 to 5. Dre does not really have a good time in this match. Able to use that red tree, and August was able to pick that up with the vision that YUWEI was giving off. Now, early game, it just does not look good for the side of Jigsaw.
Another airstrike coming in, doing a lot of damage, taking off Miss Beautiful on this Matilda, but Euphoria is just checking in some bushes. He's just saying hello, you know? She's saying hello. And look at that. Soul is just smacking Euphoria, but she is not losing any damage. All she has to do is say peekaboo to a bush and leave. And Shadow Stampede is going to pull Euphoria back, but we do see 3-man rotation up to the top side, but Euphoria is still walking around like nothing. And, you know, he's just doing a little bit of walk in the jungle. But once again, this jungle, hey, is just not having a good time right now.
I mean, that's the power of the martyrs, right? We do see those rotations coming in. But look at the top side.
Looks like Ultimate Sniper has been piped by Leslie. And actually does not secure a kill, unfortunately. But look at Euphoria. Feather airstrike going ahead and completing the kill. But just like Weezy says, right? Pressure can make some diamonds, or pressure can burn some pipes, which is not looking too good right now for Soul. And for the rest of his team, especially Day on this Karina.
Yeah, Jigsaw, honestly, their pipes are being broken right now. They're not really able to get too many kills, but able to pick up one.
Shadow Assault locking in by Karina. Gonna see if Euphoria can be taken off, but that's a huge Cold Altar being burnt in for a hill. The circling Eagle goes wee woo. A little bit of Matilda Airlines over there. Gonna go ahead and do some damage. Feather airstrike coming from the backside. Ultimate Sniper locking in. Let me go ahead and take down Boba's Decimation locking in. This is gonna be unstoppable on this Matilda. Is he gonna look for a third? Possibly, but no. Looks like he's gonna do a little bit of dance around station on this Faramis, and that is. Oh, that's a 2-for-0 trade right now, which is not... Look at the gold deficit, which is not looking too great. Look at the proxy, the lanes, cutting them all off. Karina, once again, is just getting his jungle denied, but Faramis just dropped dangerously low for some reason. Don't know what just happened, but Fire doing a little bit of chip damage with that Farsa. It looks like August might just get caught out in that red buff, but he's denying buffs once again. And look at Euphoria. Ultimate Sniper popping on that backside, dropping him dangerously low, which puts him right back home. And this might just be a Fanny, right? Going home, back and forth and back and forth. Look at this blue getting taken away as well.
And then the feathered airstrike coming down to force out that Cold Altar, but August is still on the chase.
Still on the chase indeed. It looks like YUWEI coming with a flicker play. Gonna put Station airborne. And looks like the Shadow Stampede is gonna go ahead and pull. Go away. Is it to defend a lot of those turns, but dropping down ridiculously low. YUWEI doing some real damage. That is not something you usually see on this Eat It. We do see Euphoria trying to take up that front side, and that is a 1-for-0 trade coming in. No, is that? Yeah, that is a 1-for-0 trade. And that's not something that is too faithful, and Station's still looking to do a little bit of bush check with his Ghostbusters over there. And looks like he's gonna just give out a little bit of vision, but Lord, already being started by August.
Yeah, there is a 3k gold lead difference, almost 4k when you're comparing the Martis to the Karina. And that kind of just tells you that, you know, Bhiegas and friends has the advantage, but bot side.
Shadow Stampede getting pulled and circling Eagles and go ahead and help the assist of the kill on Day. Looks like Melissa's go away has been popped. but Leslie getting a kill on this lap with double kill coming in from this
yeah?
shutdown. On top of that, triple kill coming in, but we just a flicker kill coming in from this Leslie Triga. Gonna go ahead and kill off that Melissa, but they are on the hunt. But look at this Farsa. Wings by wings coming in. Is she going to go ahead and secure? That is a feather airstrike coming in. Shutdown immediately coming in from Faya, which is looking kind of fire right now with that feather airstrike, with that Lord coming down right now.
Absolutely right. Vegas and friends still having responses here. We see Fire on the chase for this Varamis here. Is she gonna be able to take him down? No, he's gonna be able to make a safe retreat, right? But the side of Jisa would be able to defend this Lord push.
Yeah, they are going to be able to defend the Lord push here, but I think they're just kind of delaying the inevitable. They don't really have a lot of kits to kind of scale into that late game, especially when you go up against a Leslie. Now, another pick off on bot side. Edith proving to be one of the better heroes. I wonder if he's going to be building up to that Calamity.
The Shadow Stampede pulling Euphoria, but the turret just has been taken down just in time. Euphoria coming in. Cold Altar being popped a little bit too early. Power of the Bull is going to go into the back. The Decimation has been locked in by August. But looks like everyone's a little bit too far back. We do see the Ultimate Sniper locking in, but Decimation might just be a little bit early triggered, but going ahead and picking up the kill. But Melissa coming in. Sees White Feather. Airstrike coming the backside. Takes off Melissa. Saves August. Certainly Eagle coming in. On this Modest, that's a double kill coming in from this Leslie. Bravest Partisans coming from Lapu. Not able to hit any marks there, but look at Leslie's damage. Already putting Senshin at a low level with just a few hits of her sniper. That's a little bit of a smack on the face if you ask me right there. But Senshin's still not done. Oh my goodness. 2 shots once again. That is too squishy, right? That is a mid turret down. We do see the Ultimate Sniper being locked out, but that is a lot of kills on the board right now that just got taken out. And what do you think the win conditions are right now for them to turn this game back around?
Praying on their knees. Because I don't really think what's going to happen, Rem. Because honestly, this is looking extremely one-sided here.
I mean, it has been, right? We did see around that 7-minute mark. Dario on this Karina, she was level 6 for about 2 minutes now. Finally scaling into that level 10, but August is already max level, and looking at what they're going up against, this Leslie scaling pretty well. We see the damage and the aggression coming in. Euphoria kind of being able to continuously be a nuisance here, but look, the damage coming in from Soul on this Melissa. They can capitalize off of some of the over-aggression and find some pickoffs of their own. Karina may have had a bad start, but if you look at Soul in comparison to the rest of the team, we'll have an easier time into scaling. We see the damage coming in from Muddle. So as long as he can dodge some of the futtered airstrikes that's going to be coming in, that's going to be their saving grace.
Cold Altar being popped and Yui coming to flicker play feather airstrike coming from the back side. It's going to do a little bit of damage, but Euphoria coming in the part of the wilderness. Certainly Eagle locking onto Euphoria in the back side because he's still doing a lot of damage in that back side. Tyra getting popped out. Is he able to see her kill? Oh my goodness, Ultimate Sniper is going to go ahead and secure that kill. Station doing a little bit of tug of war with that Shadow Stampede, but 2 members down in trade for just a Edith, but that is a marksman and a support down, which is not looking too hot. So it looks like they're going to have to go put on their knees to try to see if they can go ahead and turn this game a little bit around.
Yeah, but you saw the damage coming out from that Melissa. She does hurt quite a bit, and as long as they're able to get a decent team fight, they should be able to. But the Cold Altar does get popped early. They're not going to have that utility coming up for this next Lord coming down.
We do see the Lord getting popped in, but looks like they're kind of hesitating to go ahead and fight. Feather airstrike coming in, both in the backside. Bravest Partisan block action kicks him off the board with 1 shot of the face with Leslie Sniper over here. Matilda's gonna go ahead and use the Matilda Airlines to go ahead and give a little support play. It's just to be mobile straight in her face right there. Go away has been popped in by Melissa. Tyra Day taking off the board by Melissa. Double kill getting in. We do see Euphoria taking off this Matilda. A little bit too much damage to handle. Fair miss. Getting shut down on this Farsa, but he has taken off the board right as well. That is getting a recall and a kill on this Martis, which is going to be August taking off the board. And Euphoria is about to get caught out here as well. Cold ulti being popped in. Euphoria on the run right now. We do the Shadow Stampede pulling her right back in, but Dai not trying to let go of this. But are we looking for a possible turnaround? Is this what we've been waiting for? But are the Wellness, oh my goodness, takes off this Karina, but in trade, shutdown coming in into the hands of Station right now.
And it's like I was saying, my play into the win condition, the over-aggression, capitalize off of it. We do see that ultimate sniper being popped there by this Leslie, and it's in the hands of Solve if you're G-Saw right now. She was able to dodge some of that further airstrike coming in, the Shadow Stampede, being able to pull in some of the members from Bhiegas and friends and pulling them into the tower and into models so Melissa can deal some additional damage towards them. And as long as they can capitalize and continuously continue to achieve those type of combos, this game can potentially go into their favor.
You're correct. As we head into this mid to late game, a 5k gold lead just gets less and less and less, and the Lord is coming out right now mid side. Might look for a fight.
Gold Ulti getting popped in, Euphoria getting caught out in that Shadow Stampede, which is looking great right now. That is a pick off, but that is a Lord still uncontested, but looks like they want to go for this fight.
Yeah, they might be going for this fight, but it might just not be enough. The circling eagle does hit the Martis here.
You see Matilda Airlines might be a little bit too much of a crash in that Lord side. Lord got really low. Feather Airstrike coming the backside. Treachery is going to be picked up by August. Look at Mui's damage on this Matilda. This plane did crash, unfortunately, but look at that damage coming in from Leslie. That's a shutdown onto Farsa, and she did just get smacked in the face a little bit too hard. We were just hyping up the Melissa, but Leslie's true damage a little bit too much. Lord coming down this mid side, and we might just see a end here. Yui coming into Flicker play. Flicker also played by the Feather Airstrike coming in, but where's the Lord going? But it looks like this is going to be the game. GG's. Looks like the win is going to go into the hands of Rem. Do you want to go ahead and announce the winner?
Bhiegas and friends, and man, this was nothing but a friendly match if you're the side of G-Saw right now. Looking at some of the itemizations coming in, we do see August building in that blade of despair for that additional damage, and also that blade armor to kind of counter some of the damage that's going to be coming in from Sol here. We did see Faye on this Farsa forcing him to build in that Athena shield because that burst is too much. We do see Miwi, they're not building in the Calamity Reaper, but still having some of that damage coming in. Now, looking at some of the itemizations, right? If you're Bhiegas and friends, that is two blade armors. So I do like the answers coming in there to counter this Melissa, and not quite much of an answer, right? We do see Karina attempting to go for that hybrid build, but she's one of those heroes that you have to either fully commit to tank or damage. Hybrid just does not work out as well on her, and we did see the side of Bhiegas and friends kind of capitalizing off of that when we look at the statistics, YUWEI.
Yeah, I do agree. The Karina kind of has to go one way or the other, or else it's just doesn't prove to be that worthy. Now, the MVP does go to August. He does have the highest kill participation, so even on a utility jungle, he is making sure that he is picking up a lot of these kills, a lot of these team fight participation. Leslie, 30% damage, 63% turret damage, also with a good amount of team fight participation, able to kind of walk around the map and making sure that the real estate does get taken out. And Faye on this Farsa, 23% damage dealt, 70% kill participation. Also Euphoria, you know, he had that early game advantage, able to zone away the Karina, making sure that the Karina is unable to grab up any buffs lately. And with the game being finished right here, in terms of Bhiegas and friends, they will be moving on to that next match. Congratulations, G-Saw. We will see you next time. And we are done with today's stream, guys. Not tomorrow, on Thursday, around the same time, we are going to have Risk Alliance versus Bhiegas for the grand finals. It will be a best out of 5, I believe. And please, guys, this is the North American, this is not the North American, this is the MLBB PH 5 versus 5 tournament. It's a community Discord event, so make sure to join the MLBB PH Discord server. Come in, say hi, enjoy, and make some friends here. And today on the caster's desk, we did have Eunice from the NACT and Rem from MLSA, including myself, also a member of MLSA, bringing you guys some great casting, great events. And do you guys want to say anything before we head out?
Rem?
Nothing much. Anything?
Well,
Chicka chicka chicka.
I'm going to say a little something here. As the NACT caster, for all those PH people who are looking out there, there is going to be a caster vote coming in for the duo caster, which is going to be Wheezy alongside me for the NACT. So if you guys can...
Yes, sir.